Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Hello.
We are live now officially. I think Probot needs to go up a little bit. There we go. I've discovered that I can use arrow keys on Discord, and it changed my life. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Queer Witches, Dice Dragons, and Psychic Unicorns, to another episode of ESP D&D presents Stormwatch, featuring MCDM's Kingdoms and Warfare. We had a complete overhaul here in the studio, so things are a little different. I just have to readjust, and then I think we are good. Checking my levels. Hello. Paradise Flower Tree. Dahlia's in the chat. Isabits is in the chat. Fathagan's in the chat. That's one thing about us, is we're very active in the chat and in our community. So thank you all for joining us. Yeah. So we're playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We're playing Kingdoms and Warfare from MCDM Studios. And I am very excited to be back here once again with these lovely people playing this combination of D&D and Kingdoms and Warfare and a little bit of tarot. We're still working on a complete second 10-page PDF for our roll tables for our Viking Oracle Tarot. So in the meantime, if you pull any tarot cards, it will likely this week be from the Adventurer's Tarot. But I got 10 of them done. So for the first 10 cards in the Stacey DeMarco Oracle Tarot, we have roll tables. So I'm going to keep chipping away at that. We've got 45-ish total. So stay tuned for more roll tables. Also, a reminder for our cast, I think we're good to go, but push to talk is ideal. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and go around the table, and everyone that is joining me here today, that is joining us here today, can introduce themselves. Let's go starting in regular order from what I'm looking at on the overlay. Let's go with Isabits. Hello, who are you, and who are you going to be playing tonight, and whatever else you want to add. Reminder, we're also going to be doing full promos at the end, but I will link your stuff as well in the beginning. So take it away, Tara and Isabits.
I am Elizabeth, known on the Discord and internet as Isabits. I will be playing Tara, the quite grumpy monk here today with the Stormwatch. And then I can get into everything else later, so somebody else can go next.
All right, awesome. And what are your pronouns? What are Tara's pronouns?
My pronouns are she, her. Tara's use she, they.
Awesome. Thanks, Isabits. Ange, who are you? What are your pronouns? Who are you playing? What are your character's pronouns? And whatever else you want to add. I also, I realized that the chat is blank for Isabit's Linktree, so I'm going to post it manually, and I think that's a Nightbot error. Anyway, Ange, go ahead.
I am Ange, she, her for the most part. I am playing Thamus, the Oath of Redemption Paladin, whose pronouns are she, they. And yeah, that's
Awesome.
That's about it for me.
Cool. Yeah, and you can check out Ange. And there we go. Our friends at Animazing Radio. Yeah, it worked. That one worked. Okay.
Yay.
All right. Thanks, Ange. And while I'm getting the link tree for Isabits, Nick/Husky, take it away. Who are you? What are your pronouns? Who are you playing? The whole deal.
Hello. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Clematis Scamperpaw, Clem for short. Also he, him. And yeah, just here to start smashing stuff at the beginning of the session. So I'm ready.
Awesome. Thank you. And I have Linktree for you. I think I put it under Husky. Yes,
Probably.
I did. All right.
And I will be giving you another one soon, because there's another thing coming up
okay.
as well.
I think I finally got, and we have, this is for Isabits. Hey, all right, go check out that last one too. That's Isabits Linktree. So lots of good stuff going on in Isabits' corner of the internet, which we're very excited about. So Dahlia, hello Dahlia, take it away.
Hello, Dahlia, she, her, and I'll be here playing your arcane trickster rogue. That'll be it.
Awesome. All right, and what are your pronouns? What are Dahlia's pronouns?
She, her.
Excellent.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, ×2. All right. Jeff/Fathagan on the TikToks for the kids.
Good evening. My name
Hello,
is Jeff.
fellow children.
You can find me on TikTok as Fathagan. And this evening I am playing Simeon, who is a fighter who thinks he's a rogue. Battlemaster fighter with an awful lot of ranks in stealth. My pronouns are he, him, as are simians.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. And last but certainly not least, Avalon Willowbloom, Theo. Hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm Avalon, she, her, or they, them, and I am playing Rin, the College of Lore bard. Her pronouns are usually she, her, but also it kind of depends on the face she's wearing. For the most part, I don't have a lot of updates for the voice acting side of things. However, the episode of Paranatural Support Services team that I was in, it's a podcast about a call center dealing with supernatural and paranormal shenaniganery. The episode that I was in for that is coming out soon. It's the start of an arc. I'm a main character for a few episodes. I will link the Twitter for that in just a moment, but yeah.
Awesome. And is there anyone out there who can verify how we're doing on sound? We have some new setups. I just want to make sure that people can hear us and can actually hear other people talking and what we're doing. I think so, because I see chatter. I think everyone can hear everybody else. Okay. Star. I think that means good. So, who would like some DM inspiration to recap exactly what happened last time on our first session of Rise of the Zhentarim Stormwatch?
I already have inspiration, so
Let me
I
check
can't
if I
get
have
benefit
mine.
from it, but I can definitely give the spiel if everybody else.
I mean, yeah,
doesn't
if you want to give out you want to be the one who bestows a DM inspiration on someone else, you can certainly do the recap, and then everyone else will be at your mercy.
Oh wait, no, it's all right. That's not the
All
one.
right.
I'm not DMing this game. All right. So last week we managed to, for our session 1, we traveled to the Darkhold and had a bit of a, bathhouse episode as we got to meet all of our characters much more fully, I suppose. And then we all got invited to dinner and managed to meet all of the leaders of the Zhentarim as well as the Emperor. Whose name is currently escaping me, but I'm sure it's somewhere in my actual character notes. And then as we were being introduced to the Paraghost and the rest of the leaders, one of the other members of the organization pointed out that one of the mages has been a spy for the Harpers, which as agents of the Zhentarim is not a great thing. And as the curtain fell, Simeon had stepped forward with his rapier, intent on killing the traitor, because, well, that's if you betray the network cuts you out.
Okay, that is very much worthy of a DM inspiration. So go ahead and bestow. Who does not have DM inspiration already? Who is missing one? Okay, all right. And
I think Allura can benefit from that.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
We'll give it to Allura. So, now, as we pick up in the banquet hall of Darkhold, after the revelation that one of your most trusted agents, one of your most trusted mages, the High Archmage of the Sable Accord itself, was in fact an agent of the Harpers, the Paraghost and the Stormwatch under the command of Riviar Darkwind, and due to some yet not elaborated magics, divination magics that seem to be in the possession of one Lyra Kane, one of the archmages of the Black Hand, the militaristic division of the Stormwatch. Lyra Kane has always advised both the Black Hand and the Sable Accord, but recently has been spending more time with the Black Hand as the Zhentarim prepares to march to war. Now, whatever this strange magic is that was able to root out this deception, this decades-long deception, is enough to warrant concern from even the person being accused. However, this divination was so sure and so certain, and even produced documentation and evidence, that Ashemmi had no choice but to trigger her contingencies The start of which we now find ourselves in initiative officially. So, if I could have everyone here in the Stormwatch please roll initiative, we shall carry on from there.
Of course, I got a natural one on that baby.
Wow, Tara.
Let's see.
What is this?
Yeah,
5
you know you
total.
can use inspiration on that, right?
I mean, screw it. Why not?
Yeah.
It should
Nor my
be
21. I should be a 13.
okay. Wow, Tara 25.16.
hmm
If you click on your number in the initiative tracker, you can change it to what it needs to be.
Oh, I can myself? Oh, nice. I didn't know
Yep.
I could. I thought
Oh, I
DMs
didn't.
had that power.
Yeah, I didn't know either. That is good to know. It's good to know that you wield that power.
I know, right? Saves you some stress.
Oh, grr. Mine didn't go in because D&D Beyond doesn't want to cooperate.
Gonna quote this tweet.
There we
Remind
go. Yeah,
everyone.
I
close
guess we
enough.
need to have
So why is mine,
tiebreakers on.
why is mine not going into the tracker?
Did you
You have
select
to
your token
highlight
before you rolled
yourself.
it?
That is the classic blunder. Yeah, so with Roll20, you have to select your token before you roll
Yep.
initiative, otherwise it will not show up. However, that is an easy fix. I can simply add you to the initiative tracker. What is your initiative?
It's 9.12.
That is the Dex
Why
tiebreaker
why-
for initiative.
Your dexterity score is added as a decimal place to be a tiebreaker.
Yes.
Ah.
Yep.
Or for those of us like Clem and apparently our mage friend, who both rolled 13s.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
Clem
going
has
to
a
say, oh, I don't
13.
have my tiebreaker on. Let me turn that on to see if I'm ahead or not.
I'm not last. I'll take it.
Right?
I mean, with your oath, rolling cleric initiatives is not too bad.
No.
Just gonna share this one more time.
So why is mine display?
Okay. All right. Anybody have any other ongoing issues with initiative?
Nope.
Okay.
Did you want to just go ahead and add mine manually as well?
Yep. What was your initiative?
5.
Okay. And I gotta find the right token. All right. 5. Okay. Is everybody now officially on the turn order? Does everyone see themselves on the turn order?
Yes.
I do.
hmm
Why
Okay.
is my name displayed on my screen but no one else's is?
Because it's your
I have
name.
the same problem.
Okay.
It's not a problem, it's just your name, so.
Yeah. Are you talking about in the initiative tracker?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I know it only shows your name. It doesn't always show your.
If you had control
Everyone
of multiple
else's.
tokens, you'd see multiple names, but you only have control of your token, so.
Ah, that's a.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a display
Feature.
thing.
Okay.
Feature.
If you hover over different places in the initiative, it does highlight what that number represents on the map. So, if you're trying to see which tokens are going when, that is a thing.
C'est la vie.
At the start of initiative. And I got some commands too. It's your boy Jacob Lizotte. Yeah! I'll turn that down a smidgen. Okay, there we go. Tara finds herself at the top of the initiative order. You had seen the Paraghost take the blade Sacrilege and twist it about to slice into Ashemmi's chest as initiative began. So, you saw this tense moment or at the very least, he seemed to be trying to disable her, or at your decree, the Stormwatch being given the authority of what to do with this traitor. Seeing the majority voting for elimination, the Paragos decided to act in turn, but it is here where we start initiative. So in this moment, Terra, this swelling of energy builds up within you, and you are able to act in advance, should you choose, as everyone else in the room begins to channel energy, rises from their seats in a flurry of steel and magic. You are first. What do you do?
I personally think that we should kill this traitor. Where I come from, if you come across a traitor, you slit their throat. They don't live another day to tell you a lie or to report on you to someone else. So that is what I feel like should happen. Where is Ashemmi?
Actually, it's kind of more accurate. It's kind of the Paragos kind of was able to kind of put the blade in front of her, so it's kind of like over here, and Ashemmi is right here.
Okay. So I'm gonna move.
Okay. Immediately springing into action as you feel your muscles tighten. That sort of hard exterior of your stone skin, just kind of a little bit of dust and earth, just as your muscles flex.
Would it be appropriate to attack?
If you wish, the choice is yours. So did you jump over the table? Did you go around the table? What's the flavor here?
You know, I would have.
He's standing on the table. There is food on the table. The emperor himself is not standing.
Weird.
If you remember, the emperor kind of waved his hand as if to prod his minions to deal with this problem. Very frustrated, and he did slap Ashemmi across the face as well as a symbol of distaste for what was happening.
Tara would have ran around the table. I don't think she would have jumped over it.
Okay.
But yeah, she would have ran around the table.
The Dread Praetorians and Archers also have all of their hands on their blades. The Dread Praetorians have not completely unsheathed their swords. The Dread Archers, again, the Dread Warriors, the personal attendees and bodyguards of the Emperor. The Dread Archers have their bows at the ready and kind of aim slightly up, and the Praetorians have their blades kind of half unsheathed. The Emperor remaining seated and kind of gesturing for everyone else. There is this very strange tension happening in the room right now. Just wanted to let everyone kind of set the scene that way. That being said, carry on.
This is probably a really bad idea. I want to unarmed. I want to punch her.
Okay.
I want to punch her in the face.
Okay. So it's a kind of a little bit of a grapple struggle right now. So you would have to move into this square here, but we can say that if you didn't have enough movement, you should. So okay, yep, there you go. Awesome.
All right. So my first punch is a 12 to hit.
Okay, so I have to.
Do it. Knock her ass out.
Okay. I have to do some measurements in the background there for a second. Okay, so 12 to hit, misses as the figure of Ashemmi kind of pushes back against the Paragos, and the Paragos kind of, you can see his helm kind of look down a little confused as he tries to kind of maintain control over Ashemmi, who kind of kicks back off the table, and the Paragos and Ashemmi kind of struggle to regain position as your 12 to hit, unfortunately, you feel the air on your swing connect with something, just centimeters from her face as she just kicks back just enough to miss with your attempt at a 12. So
Okay.
Anything
Well,
else?
do I still get my my other
you get
unarmed attack?
everything. You have your whole turn.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Whatever you want to do, girl.
So my jab misses, but right as I like go past her face with my jab, I
Mhm.
come back with a right hook for a 25 to hit.
Okay. All right. 25 definitely hits as you... And you said this was a right hook?
Yes.
Okay, so you come in with a massive right hook. And as you do, your fist goes through air. And as you swing your fist and hit nothing but air, the visage of Ashemmi kind of flickers in and out of existence and reforms. And the Paragost pushes off and withdraws. And this flickering figure of Ashemmi just...
I was looking forward to that 8 damage.
You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
No.
Anything else?
No. I'm just gonna look around with a very confused look on my face.
But she's currently standing there just...
But yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, that's good. That's definitely going to change what Lyra Kane was going to do. Gonna see if she can... She's going to blow a detect magic and just... Actually, no, she's going to use an action to grasp the pendant that is around her neck. It's kind of like this steely silver locket that seems to contain something, and it has this these necromantic runes engraved on both sides. The school of necromancy, very simple ones, but she grasps this sort of silver pendant, and as she does, her eyes begin to glow with this kind of silver energy, and she just kind of immediately scans the room using a full action to do so, and then gestures over in this general direction and just there, and just kind of points at the center of the fireplace. But that's all she can. Oh, actually, no, I think she has a... Does she have Misty Step? I think she should. Yep. That's going to be a Misty Step. And she's going to bamf over right where she is. So she's going to move 15 feet, start running, and then disappear in a cloud of smoke. And reappear. And is just going to gesture right in front of her. Here. Unfortunately, that brings us to Ashemmi, who, oh boy, this is going to be wild. Woo! Okay. Advantage on saving throws. Advantage on saving throws. Magical effects. That is not... Oh my god. I actually want her to get away. Because that would make a hell of a campaign villain. So, given that Lyra has true sight, she knows where she is, so she's the only one that can see Ashemmi. Ashemmi is going to try and use some serious fucking time magic. And
She has fucking 9th level spells?
Archmage.
This is bullshit.
Everyone in the room starts to feel sluggish, and you feel just this overwhelming sense of fatigue just wash over you. And as you do, you kind of see these flashes of energy by the fireplace, like, as it's happening. Verbal, and you hear the incantation. Riviera Darkwind also turns to face the general direction, but as she does, Lyra Kane is going to try and use Counterspell. Whether or not it's going to work, I guess we'll find out.
Can I give her my inspiration?
Cannot give inspiration
I
to
was actually gonna
NPCs,
ask that question
unfortunately.
too, so
So she's going to cast it at their... she doesn't really... Oh no, because she's not going to use a reaction to determine the type of the spell. So she knows she's casting something, so she's going to counterspell and roll. She doesn't know exactly what she's going to do because it's a roll of the dice either way. So she is going to...
Do you hear the music pick up as soon as she casts counterspell?
1d20 plus 9, so DC
Robot knows how
19.
narrative tension works.
For use equals 10 plus the spell's lever. Okay. Ability check using your spellcasting ability. Okay, just wanted to double check. She is intelligence. Okay. Let's see. Nope.
Oh no.
Not at advantage. Spellcasting ability intelligence. Advantage toggle. Whisper toggle. Don't necessarily want those to always default. So yeah, she rolled a 5. Does she have advantage for
5
any
for a
reason?
total of 14?
Yes.
Damn!
Yeah. So that, unfortunately, is not a 19, which is what she needed. As she tries to counterspell, and Ashemmi is able to have her spell go off without a hitch. Violent creature, yeah. Until dispelled. Yeah. Sequester. Peace.
Bounce.
Yep.
Wait, so she didn't do... Hold on, she didn't do time stop?
She did do time stop.
Oh,
I didn't
never
forget
mind.
Sequester.
Duh. No, we're good, we're good.
Yep.
I had a complete,
I
like,
get
brain
a
fart for a
roll.
sec. We're good.
How many? Oh yeah, so she gets 4 total actions.
Damn.
A spell ends if one of the actions. If one of the actions used during this period or any effects you create during this period affects a creature other than you. Nope. Sequester only affects her. And that means that she is immune from divination. Okay.
It does say that time ceases to flow for the thing that's sequestered. Does that include her? Does she burn the rest of her turns by sequestering on the first?
You cast the spell and touch the target. Visible. Okay. You know what? She's going to use teleport then, because she should have that. That is an oversight on my part. She is supposed to have it. So yeah, there you go. Is there any reason that you can see that that should not go off?
We can't do anything right now. We're currently
Okay.
time stop.
Time
All
stop.
right,
Yeah,
yep.
time stop.
Just wanted to make sure, because you were
And
right about
admittedly,
sequester.
She teleports at the time stop breaks because she, well, assuming she went more than 1,000 feet from us.
Oh yeah, she's going to move 61. She's going to move 60, 120, 180 feet out of the hall, or as far away as she can, and then going to teleport. So out through the main doors, and then she is going to use teleport, which has casting time, 1 action. Okay, verbal only. 180 feet away. Instantaneous. And that is the last of her turns. So yeah. Okay.
She gone.
GM info. Put her off to the side. And then we will put the other music back on. That was a lot less climactic than I thought it was going to be. But that leaves room for some juicy roleplay. Music cues.
I was ready for so much, and all she did was go, bye!
But
They
to
could
be
find
fair,
out
if she's
that.
busting out freaking time stop, I don't think we could have taken her anyways.
Yeah.
If Counterspell were on the Bard list.
Dreams of Elysium.
Oops.
I think this is going to be a seamless music transition. It is! Look at me go!
Ooh,
Okay. Awesome. Woo!
what a DJ.
Look at that. Okay. Whew. All right. In that tense moment, as your right hook fails to connect, Lyra Kane kind of runs over, misty steps. Attempts to counterspell is unsuccessful. Commander Riviar and Lyra both seem to be conjuring magic and arms to strike at this space. And as they do, Commander Riviar swings her sword and Lyra Kane lets out a burst of magic as you feel yourselves being a lot more energized. You feel that sluggishness fade as you all kind of stumble forward. The blade of Commander Riviar slices through air, and bits of static electricity from Lyra Kane's hands in the spot before her, and she just, no, fuck! And just kind of kicks over the wrought iron grating here that is in front of the fireplace and just kind of throws it down to the ground after she kicks it. Just very upset. Commander Riviar also kind of pauses and looks around. Search the halls. She couldn't have gone far. Go! And kind of points to some of the Dread Praetorians. And as she commands some of her other soldiers who are here, the Emperor, as you are about to move, the Emperor raises a hand. Not you. Stay. Commander Riviar takes off with a contingent of Dread Praetorians, as both of these contingents here break off. The Emperor gives his wave of approval to both groups. Okay. And the projection of Ashemmi begins to flicker as she kind of stands onto the table, kind of folds her arms, and just kind of looks at all of you, and then looks back at the Paragos and the Emperor. She's kind of fading, like kind of in and out. It's a little difficult to hear her, but she says, old habits die hard, I guess, for both myself and for all of you, it seems. The Sword Coast is under my protection. The Moonsea, however, do what you will. Just know that the rabble with which you seek to overthrow is aware that you are coming. The Harpers wholeheartedly support your mission to overthrow these fascist city-states in the Moonsea, to restore order and balance. Go back to your ancestral homes, but leave the Sword Coast unmolested. These are our ancestral homes. Xavius, your claim to the throne is about 800 years too late, I'm afraid. As there is no throne in Neverwinter. There is no king or emperor in the Sword Coast. There is only bigotry in the East, which we approve of you dismantling. You even have the blessing of Cormanthor, thanks to me. The Purple Dragon Knights will not fight, but they will stand by. Huel and human law in Hillsfar has gone too far. Cormyr is a place of love and acceptance and peace, and war only as the last possible option. Therefore, the Queen Regent of Cormyr has agreed that your mission to the east has the blessing of the only force strong enough to stand in your way. Betray this trust, and the full might of Cormyr will assist your pariah in Dagult. The Harpers feel for your losses, and we will do what we can to attempt to free the prisoners below Dagult's streets. It is a difficult situation that we must navigate together. Enjoy your war, but leave it in the east. Godspeed. Huel and the people of Hillsfar that fight for the Red Plumes deserve everything that comes their way. But remember, stay out of the Sword Coast. Goodbye. She disappears.
God, she's arrogant.
Right?
Simeon is visibly disgruntled that she got away, but is now resolute to see this through.
Rin very visibly bristled when she mentioned Hillsfar and the Red Plumes.
Well, lots of revelations there. At the very least, she and the Harpers apparently seem to have blessed your mission to the east. But lots of warnings about the latter portion of your campaign, the campaign to free the Sword Coast from an even, some might say, an even worse individual, though they are equally as terrible.
That sounds like a level 8 problem.
Yes.
AKA, we'll burn that bridge when we get there.
But
It sounds like when we have counterspell problem.
the biggest obstacle, canonically, which many people may ask, at least in the east, has been avoided, at least for the time being. The path from Darkhold to Hillsfar is open before the might of the Zhentilar. Partly, in part, due to the work of the Harpers with the nation of Cormyr, according to Ashemmi, at least. But everyone else in the room seems to be just as stunned as all of you. There was no blood, and there was, in fact, a positive revelation to come out of this. Though it is bittersweet, given the latter portion of her monologue.
So what's our next step? Where do things go from here?
Well, His Excellency said to stick around for a bit. I think he's got a point.
The Emperor slowly stands. Thank you, Terra, for your enthusiasm. It is appreciated. And just gives you
I'm
a
just
slight...
sorry. I'm just sorry I didn't knock her out.
What happened, happened, and couldn't have happened any other way. You all did what you could. these magic items of yours, Lyricane, please review them with Nazgûs. I have been planning to confront Ashemmi for some time. The mages of the Sable Accord will merge with that of the Black Hand. Nazgûs Felkar, you will review the items that Lyricane has retrieved, and after you verify them, there any dangers they might pose, or any contingencies that exist within, as well as the risks involved. You and Lyricane will take control of the Black Hand. You will foresee operations in the east and beyond. Lyricane has a mission elsewhere, the deserts of the Far East. A rendezvous with an ancient horde. An ancient horde of riders. Peoples that may very well turn the tide of battle in the latter portions of this campaign. A horde of the finest warriors this world has ever seen. And a dragon at the tip of the spear. One of the largest anywhere in existence. Lyricane has been drawn to this for many, many years. And she tells me that the acquisition of this magical item that she received has affirmed as such. The Horde of Mergome may very well be sympathetic. The cause of the Zhentarim. Their ambitious leader, Skalnadir, has set his eyes on many prizes and has been promised that many more. The people of Mergome seek to raid and to conquer, but have lacked the logistics to do so. Now, we will offer them a chance to trample across the world. This task falls to Lyricane, and she will be away for many months in the east for the duration of this campaign, while Nazgûs Felkar, he nods over to this man here, who stands up, will be taking command again of both the Sable Accord and the Black Hand. In the meantime, introductions are in order. Commander Rivia's finest. At which point, Commander Rivière does return to the room first to read it. Please, introduce yourselves officially to this chamber. Everyone else be at ease. Ashemmi's disappearance was unfortunate, but not entirely unexpected. One way or another she was going to depart from us, and the words that she left us with were not entirely unfamiliar to those seated at this table. We've known that the Harpers have been in talks with Cormier for some time, and that they have absolutely no love for the Hillsfar Alliance and the Red Plumes, and for human law in the Moonsea, which has grown too rampant and too poisonous for even the Harpers to bear. So much. Please introduce yourselves to those present and seated as brethren here in this chamber. And we will officially introduce you to those most important to this cause. After which, we will enjoy a nice meal as siblings. And then, and he kind of puts both hands on the table, we prepare for war.
Rin steps forward. And as she steps forward, all of her currently human features and her nice makeup, the fishtail braided hair, those slip away in like a little flurry of butterflies, and she returns to her pale white featureless changeling form for the moment. I am Rin of Hillsfar.
There is this kind of long pause as you say that.
A casualty, I guess you could say, of those human laws. Of what did you call it? The Hillsfar Alliance?
The Hillsfar Alliance, yep.
Thank you. Of the Hillsfar Alliance. And that's why I'm fucking here.
It is good that you have come to us. As you can see, even those who stand between us and those who are suffering and locked away beneath Neverwinter, even those we would call our enemies, are so sickened by human law in Hillsfar and this boil that has allowed to fester in the walled city of trade. Even our enemies give us their blessing. There are many, more than half, of those who call the Zhentilar their home, who call the soldiers of the Zhentilar their brethren, from the Moonsea region. This will be a homecoming for many. This has been a military force that has been assembled out of mutual respect, the desire to see this world changed for the better, and those that have suffered side by side with each other. You among so many others. We welcome you to these sacred halls. It is good to have you fighting by our side.
She bows her head a little bit, sort of an acknowledgement. She didn't change her clothes back. She's still wearing the, formal Zhentarim uniform. She just lost the features to make the point.
Go with my blessing, Rin of Hillsfar.
Thank you, my lord. And she steps back into the line to let other people go.
Leader steps up. Afternoon. Allura, collector of fine trinkets. Very nice to meet you as well.
I hear it was you who recovered the White Dragon mask for our dragon in the north.
Absolutely. I don't just have to collect for myself, you know.
Well, all of you collectively, as it were, but I heard you were the leader at the helm of this operation.
Do what I can.
The White Dragon mask will allow us to keep any ambitions of counterattack from Dagult's Order of Purity from harrying our supply lines, our stronghold, and our agents in the north. The ice grows hot indeed for you. I hope that when we march into Neverwinter territory, that you will be able to sit down with the Dragon Halia Thorn, and she can thank you herself. They are currently... Indeed. They are currently engaged in operations to secure the town of Phandalin and secure secondary mercenary companies to help them with locating artifacts of great power, that of which we cannot share even in these halls, given the nature of our recent compromise. Halia's mission is of the utmost of secrecy, and no one must be savvy to it. She sends her regards. Thank you, Allura.
Thank you kindly. I'll step back.
Kind of like a second round of introductions. I like this.
Simeon will go ahead and step forward and bow and, my liege, I'm Simeon, a Fang of the Black Network. I'm here to do as you bid.
I have your dossier, Simeon Fang of the Black Network. It is good that with all of the turmoil that you have been through with different guilds and different crews, different syndicates, that you have found your way here into the most sacred of halls. That you have found your way to the very top of the food chain, as it were. We hope to use your skills the best of your ability. We thank you for your talents. Hopefully your return to the Moonsea will be most auspicious.
Simeon will bow again and step back into line.
Thank you, Simeon. 6 members of the Stormwatch. 3 more to go.
Famous will step forward.
As you
Famous.
do, these two immediately stand to attention.
I bow.
They give you the fist over the heart salute and do a little bow as well.
Famous Sunstorm. At your service.
And you recognize both of these faces. On the left, General Gareth Varkin, captain of the Outriders Cavalry. The Outriders are 1,000 of the best cavalry riders in the Zhentilar, commanding 2,000 other cavalry, for a total of 3,000. About 750 to 800 of the elite are in the Storm, the Outriders, under the command of General Gareth Varkin, at full force up to 1,000. General Rebecca Sorelia is the general of the Zhentilar itself, the High General commanding of all ground forces in operation in Faerun. Kind of big deals for both of them, and they stand to attention and acknowledge you.
I will return the salute and direct to them. I look forward to working with you both.
They both kind of give you a nod of acknowledgement, and the Emperor says, "It seems you are no stranger to the battlefield, Themis Sunstorm. Anyone that commands the respect of General Varkin and General Sorelia demand the respect of this entire room, and have my personal respect and gratitude for your service, and for those of your brethren who fell in service of something larger than themselves. The Winter Wolves, yes?
Indeed.
It's good to have such a storied regiment that fought in the War of the Silver Marches here, under command of General Sorelia and General Varkin. We welcome you always, Themis Sunstorm." And the Emperor himself gives you a little, very slight bow, to which everybody else in the room also kind of tries to follow suit.
Famous will thank you. You are too kind. Bows and steps back in line.
Tara will step forward and kind of give a bow, and Tara punch her faces.
Simple. I like it.
I'm a simple person.
But what about Destroyer? Has so much more. Terra, Grand Destroyer of Faces.
I like that. I'm just, the whole thing earlier with my going through, and I'm just feeling a little off my game right now. I'll be the destroyer tomorrow. I'm feeling better.
The Paragost kind of speaks, his voice kind of resonating through the helm and echoing. Your quick wit and ambition on the battlefield will bring you places. Your eagerness to act and come to the defense of your fellow soldiers has been noted. Terra, Destroyer of Faces. We will watch your career with great interest, to quote the Emperor. The other Emperor. Anyway,
Give a
carry on.
nod. Thank you. And I step back.
The Emperor kind of acknowledges that. And, most curious, our Harengon friend. I've heard many things about you, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Yep. And you'll see him step forward. Thankfully, he went last because if he'd gone first, it would have been very noticeable how upset he is about this ordeal. But he will step forward, kind of cross his arms, bow a little bit. Clem of the Feywild. Pleasure to meet all of you.
Nazgris, kind of still seating, looks over and, of the Feywild? Interesting. I've heard rumors, but hearing it from you officially and seeing what I've seen, it makes sense. Clem of the Feywild. I love your whole color palette too. It's delightful. Is it natural?
Yeah, some of it.
Oh, it's breathtaking.
Like
I have to
to-
say, I love the pink on the ears. Absolutely delightful. 11 out of 10, my friend. Absolutely. You and I will have to talk a lot more after this.
Thank you.
I am
Thank you.
very
he
eager to hear
seems a
more
little
about the
bit-
Feywild.
He's definitely a little bit brighter now, for sure. Almost like a complete 180 instantly. He seems to be happier.
But what do you like to eat? It's just banquet food here, but anything you want, I can procure. I would love to just sit down and hear about the Feywild.
Let me grab my list, and he's going to start going through his things to find a list
Excellent.
of things that he's enjoyed on his journeys here.
Well, I suppose that could be the chance for me to introduce myself. For those that you don't know, I'm Nazgris Felka, now apparently High Archmage of the Black Hand, sharing in command with the Absorbed Sable Accord with Lyra Kane. It is a pleasure to meet everyone here, and I can speak for many of those who are from the Sword Coast when I say fuck Ashemmi, fuck the Harpers, fuck Cormier, fuck Dagult, and fuck everything that any of them stand for. I, for one, will not be standing down. My apologies, dear Emperor. I would not consider you to be the type to stand down, but I, for one, will say that I will march to the gates of Neverwinter myself, even if I have to do so with 5 people at my back. And I will burn that city to the ground if I have to do so with my bare hands. Carry on.
Count me in.
And
I'll be right behind you.
he turns to the right, and I think my very large friend here would probably agree with me, although he's already called dibs on ripping the gates off of this this blight that Dagult has constructed in Neverwinter. This man stands up on the far left of the table, slowly. You can see he's very large. He's, for a human, he's about 6'3", and he has a scar over his right eye. Short, messy hair, and these kind of black cloaks and black leathers of the Zhentilar, and imagery on clasps of sort of rearing horses in sort of gold that mixes with the black, and very somber, very quiet, but with a strength that you can feel below this somewhat gentle visage. He says, Gareth Farkin, Captain of the Outriders, General of the Zhentilar. He sits back down. And Nazgris says, he's not much for words considering, but he's very capable. Best person I've seen on a horse. Kind of looks over and kind of looks him up and down, among other things. On the far right side of the table, General Rebecca Sorelia, commander of the legions of the Zhentilar and all ground forces in Faerun. I will be leading all of you into battle. There will be tears, there will be blood, and there will be suffering. We just have to make sure that it's the poor bastards on the other side that do the most of it. And I will see that that happens. Follow me into battle. Follow my lead, and stay true to those on either side of you, and we may yet make it through this. Fala Zenta! I just kind of puts, and you just hear this echo of Fala Zenta in the room, kind of subdued. It's mostly soldiers and praetors here, and like commanding officers, so. Lyricane. Lyricane, darlings. Pleasure. Unfortunate that we let that bitch slip through our fingers.
I strongly suspect that won't be the last time we see her, though.
So, if you zoom out, going back down to the bottom, and the Commander Riviera says, well, I hope you know who I am. And now, if you kind of scroll down to the bottom here, I'm just going to say names and titles, and in their voices, right? So there's a long list of people who are going to stand one by one. So we're going to do left to right. So 1, 2... I'm not expecting anybody to remember all this, all right? But it's kind of just so you have an idea of who is who. Okay, so left to right from row to row. So on the top row, left to right. Second row, left to right. Anybody have any questions on intros that way? And we're going to just blow through it.
Go nuts.
Everyone clear? Okay.
Have the best time doing
Okay.
this.
Admiral Emilia Zistra, Commander of the Naval Forces of the Zhentilar. Commander Lister Asterix, Captain of the Storm Riders Wyvern Company. Geralt Baelaw, Dread Mage to the Emperor. I am Lady Moonfire of Loudwater. I am the prime financier of the Zhentarim and the Zhentilar. Anything that has to do with money, politics, or nobility, it goes through me. Many say that I am the Zhentarim, but of course that is ridiculous. I am the coin purse of the Zhentarim. I am the Zhentarim's elegance. I am its legitimacy. I am its front. I am all of these things and more, but all of you are its heart, its soul, and its might. Ifan Talroa, Dreadlord commanding Cholt and Port Nyanzaru. We have operations of our own in the works that I think could turn the tide. Ifan Talroa will bring glory to these halls, as he always has. Sergeant Bartholomew, Storm Riders. Archimage Ulasha Vexia II. I am a maiden of the House of Pain Exalted, and also a member of the Black Hand, an archmage of both houses.
Wink at her.
She winks back. And she just kind of... Hello. Captain Urzax, commander of the Darkwater Spectre, operating with Ifan Talroa and in around the jungles of Cholt. There's lots of ships out there belonging to the Lord's Alliance, belonging to the Flaming Fist. We've had our eyes on them all. And we've got big things in the works. Vendetta Chris, assassin, and lead operator of the Black Network. Everything that happens in the Sword Coast that will allow you to enter will be happening under my eyes, under my command. It is best that you forget my name, as I have many Carry on. Jericho Galleon, Archmage of Antiquities for the Zhentarim and the Zhentilar. I will be moving to the north shortly to rendezvous with Dragon Thorn. That is all I can say. Vivienne Vastarestrix, Lieutenant of the Knights of Tempest. Lydia Dresser Adran, Viper. Darkwater Spectre. All Dragon Terina, operating under Vendetta Chris, Baldur's Gate. Ulvinia Kaladaku, also the Knights of Tempest. All Dragon Sully. And I'm having a brain fart. What's the Yartar? That's the place we almost burned down. I was like, hey, what's the place we almost burned down to the ground? All Dragon Sully. Commanding Yartar. Matthias Shaw, Dragon commanding Insurrection Operation Waterdeep. High Whip Mistress Delorum, High Matron of the House of Pain Exalted, Champion of Leviatar, and of all the houses of pain and suffering. The holy arm of this operation falls to me. She kind of licks her lips a little bit, bites the bottom of it. Yeah, I'm Sergeant Vess, commander of the Goblinoid regiments. This guy stands up, kind of laughing a little bit. Viper Marcus, second in command of Yartar, working under Sully. Proud member of the Black Network and the Zhentarim. This is my home. I'm glad to be here with all of you. Viper Tashlin Yvera. Doom Raiders, Waterdeep, part of the Insurrection Division. Mistress Irisoth of the House of Pain Exalted. Corporal Yadariv, serving as the liaison from the soldiery of the Archers Division of the Zhentilar. Oh, Halia is here. Fuck, never mind. So disregard what I said about... I don't actually know, Halia shouldn't be here. She's in the north. That is my mistake. That would be Helena Grell. I operate I am the liaison of the guilds in Baldur's Gate. Voldo, Borskia Bridge, commanding. Reyna Dietrich. But you already know me, and I know all of you. This person stands up, kind of adjusts their collar. Most people call me Nine. You can call me Nine Fingers Keen, or Nine Keen, or just Keen. I am the liaison to the Guild of Baldur's Gate. Anything that happens in Baldur's Gate that slips under the eyes of the Black Network, I pick up. I get people in and out of Baldur's Gate. And I was part of the operation of the Fall. Happy to be of service. Silvery Moon Captain Synthalia, representing the interests of Silvery Moon. Kind of clicks his heels together, stands up. Good evening, everyone. I am Jarl Axel Bainray of the Burgundy Arth, and I see great opportunity here, and yada 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 yada. The food is subpar, the wine is good enough, but I represent the interests of about half of your naval fleet and a squadron of about 1,000 very, very angry Luskan soldiers who are very eager to break down the northern gates of Neverwinter. So I'm glad you have not wavered in your commitment, because I am already in this far too deep, and it would be a shame if things would fall apart now. So I appreciate everyone's candor and enthusiasm, and many of you, if you have any tips about style or fashion or whatnot, please come to me, because most of you are absolutely not matching. It is dreadful. We need to do something about some of your attire. Seriously, it's, you know, I was hoping for a little bit more, but it's what I have to do. Carry on. Captain Moore Missy Silgar, the Winged Spectre. Down here. Guralga, Black Sun Hydras. This guy's chewing on a turkey leg. He's like, oh shit, that's me. Okay, sorry. Y'all can just call me Hunter, representing the interests of the Emerald Enclave. So far, this pact of mutual assistance has been appreciated, and hey, listen, don't listen to Purple over here, right? Purple Hat. The turkey is absolutely delicious, delightful. This woman slowly stands up, and the room kind of goes silent, and she says, Grayana Dhuurniv, and there is just silence in the room. I represent the interests of House Dhuurniv. I am told it is your first destination. I hope you don't disappoint me, or my sisters, because our people have been suffering for decades. You want to see firsthand what the Red Plumes will do to people that are not human? I'll bend your ear for 5 minutes. You'll never be the same. She sits back down. First Mate Elias Goss, Wing Dread. This woman turns up, stands up, representing the interests of our pact with the Emerald Enclave. I am Nalieska Imitresk, a druid of the Marsh. I very much seek to return. The halls here are a little bit cramped. Aelin Petwin, representing interests of the Order of the Gauntlet, and I am not impressed so far, but we shall see. My mistress seeks to resolve any potential conflict in as peaceful a way as possible. Ambric Vanthempur, representing some of your oldest allies in Baldur's Gate. A champion of the Fall. We take credit for that directly. Thank you. Ravanya sits back down. Well, I'm not much for introductions, too much, but I'm Samantha Palin. I'm the proprietor of the Timelessly Turning Wheel down here in Waterdeep, and I've been working with your benefactors here for quite some time to set up a lucrative trade arrangement down in Waterdeep, so working very closely with your Mistress of Quine from Loudwater, I can say that there are benefits to be had in the flow of money. And at the end of the day, money is important. It's what makes the world go round. Money and magic items, to be sure. And I think that this will be a most beneficial arrangement for everyone. And I very much look forward to serving our new overlords here in the future.
I am so happy that she's still here.
Oh, this is a recurring character?
Yes.
Yeah, so the other Monday game is also set in Faerun with the Zhentarim and all that jazz. And that's an NPC in that game, and I am delighted to see her.
Oh, jeez.
This woman doesn't stand up. She just waves her hand. And this woman says, down here. I like this one's style. And she just doesn't sit. She puts her feet up on the table and kind of elbows this one here. Going a little out of order. Sorry. Kind of gesturing over at this man. Thainskira of the North kind of just chugs down the rest of her drink and just kind of throws it behind her. You hear it kind of clang on the ground. Another! And then
Can
these...
you spell out Thainskira for me, please? I'm so
Yes.
sorry. I forgot how to spell her name.
Skyra. And then last but not least, towards the bottom, this man stands up. I represent the interests of one who will change the face of Faerun. My benefactor. Kind of just sits back down, and this woman stands up at the bottom. And you can see that she looks like most of you know what a red wizard is. Many of you have seen red wizards before. But this particular woman, though she wears red wizard attire and has red wizard tattoos, she has hair, and she has an undercut kind of in giraffed over to one side. And
So what you're saying is she's queer.
yes, yep. Mia Safariska. I represent the interests of a Thayan rebellion. One that seeks to shift power in favor of our mutual peers amongst this hall. Though I hear it will be quite some time before you can offer your assistance. Regardless, we are here to ensure that it does happen. Going back up here to the top, the Emperor says, everyone you need to know is in this hall. Anyone you wish to talk to, anyone you wish to interact with or question, anyone you wish to attend the War Council. Now would be a good time to introduce yourselves personally. But now, let us feast. And gestures, and you can see the servants of Darkhold, another 20 or so, begin to move at the Emperor's command. And there's this delicate, gentle music, kind of what you're hearing now, kind of starts to play. And there's a general sigh of relief. And as the mood lightens, the Emperor raises a glass. The future, and he stands up. The Zhentilar, and of our people. Vala Zhenta! And everyone just, Vala Zhenta!
Zhenta.
And holds up.
Valesenta!
It's kind of like a, more formal, right? So everyone is in there, and they get this, it's not like a battle cry, but everyone acknowledges in their own way. And after that, he says, now, we can relax and enjoy the time we have together before we march. Whatever I can offer you, Stonemarch. And he sits back down, and everybody else slowly, you can hear the chairs all being slid into place again. My hall is your hall. So,
All right.
Intrigue has now officially begun as the forces of your enemies move against you. Before we move to roleplay or interact with any of these NPCs, we're going to take a break from that long list of who's who of NPCs, and we're going to go over here to our lovely, yes,
We've got a hot tub, everybody.
military regiment. That's y'all.
Powerful.
Yes, the power pool itself.
Awesome.
I gotta make a, what am I gonna use to represent the Zhentarim here? Probably just
I
a...
Durgan.
love it. I love the idea that we're like all just in a jacuzzi plotting our intrigue.
The
Go
war
back to the
table
bathhouse.
floats on the water.
There we
Oh,
go.
that'd be so cool.
It's got little pontoons on the side, and it's just like a big table that floats on top.
Do you want to use a
There's like a map and.
Do you want to use a ship, a flagship, a cavalry? What token do you want to use? Want to use the infantry?
I like the horsey.
This is like Monopoly. What piece do I want?
Yeah, what piece do y'all want?
The thimble. No, I like the horse personally. That's my vote.
Why not our badass dragon?
Yeah, we can do the dragon too. It's kind of like potatoes here.
Oh
So-
yeah, the obsidian dread. Yeah, that's
Yep.
his name.
Zargoth.
Mhm.
Well, his title anyway.
Yep. Yeah, we can do Zargoth if you want to do the dragon.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Zargoth.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Yeah, let's do that, and then we'll do that for now. Okay. All right. So if I could have everyone here, please roll a d20 for me as we go about building our martial regiment.
Well,
Kind of
apparently
like
we're
a-
rolling really well tonight.
Victoria.
Kind of like a quasi initiative here. So, you are all starting as you are inheriting a military regiment. The power level of the Zhentilar is 5. That is the highest you can possibly go, and it is 8 development points per power level. However, we are going to start evenly, as you are both at 3. We're going to start with 8. We're going to start with 8. After every action of Intrigue, you're going to get another 8. So you're going to get an 8 for the War Room, which is your first phase of Intrigue. Your second phase of Intrigue, you're going to be able to decide what exactly you want to do on your second turn. Because the Zhentilar are so much more powerful, in theory, right now, than the Hillsfar Alliance, at least as far as long operating networks and connections, and the Zhentilar, the long-standing military, right? Your power level is 5. The Hillsfar Alliance is currently operating at a 3. By the time you get to Neverwinter, they may also be between 3 and 5, depending on how well the Black Network rolls in between. Likely, with Ashemmi departing, it's going to be closer to 5. Now,
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It was just a random thought that came to head that would influence things. The Red Plumes. I
Mhm.
somehow have it in my head that they are or were a mercenary band that was essentially hired by Hillsfar. Is that true?
I think
I'm not
somewhere in
sure
their
where I-
somewhere in their history it was likely true, but they are now the formal military branch. But most
Okay.
most militaries in Faerun began as mercenary bands, so it is not
Okay.
entirely uncommon.
Okay. That's fine. So they're not currently beholden to a purse string. Okay.
Correct. They are their own entity, and they have united the Moonsea region under human law, with an iron fist, corruption, power, whatever they had to do. So, there's going to be a lot of these Zargoth tokens. So right now we have 8 development points to spend on increasing your diplomacy, espionage, lore, operations. So if you look down in the bottom left, right, you'll see your modifiers here. As a martial regiment, you currently start at +1 diplomacy, a flat 0 to espionage, -1 to lore, +2 to operations. On the bottom right, you can see your communications, resolve, and resources, set at 12, 11, and 10, respectively. Currently, in this first phase, you have 8 development points to spend. The highest roll first was from Clem. Now, diplomacy represents your ability to work with other, maybe even hostile nations, and potentially increase your power in general by recruiting potentially more units, by recruiting allied units, by making pacts and treaties with other nations. It represents your ability to communicate and negotiate with other nations. Espionage is simply the Black Network, what the Black Network would be doing. So sabotage, most types of sabotage, assassination, any other types of intrigue. Lore is sort of intelligence and history that you can apply to better understand or to better get the upper hand on your opponents based on the lore of what's happening there, what kind of units they have, the types of units, the type of soldiers, the type of people that fight for them, any cracks in morale, that sort of thing. Operations is sort of a catch-all. Your defenses, right? So your defenses are communications, your ability to communicate across the battlefield, across the front. Resolve, your ability to maintain and push through either a difficult situation or garner momentum and victory. And resources, essentially food, water, supplies, that sort of thing. The enemy, the two despotic regimes of the Hillsfar Alliance and of the Lord's Alliance, and Dagult's paladins, Dagult's operatives of purity, Order of Purity, are going to be actively working against you to try to lower your defenses while you simultaneously also work in turn to lower theirs. That being said, you can apply certain bonuses, your character can at least, based on the attempted skill check you are trying to make to lower an enemy's defenses. You can add your proficiency bonus if it makes sense, and there's sort of a cross-reference table. So diplomacy would be sort of, it would be charisma based, that sort of a thing. So persuasion, and there's a chart that we can cross-reference as well. So that being said, Clem, you are up first. Where would you like to place your first development point?
I think Clem would want to put it towards lore.
Okay. All right, first development point, and I'll make this real small here. There we go. That will bring you up to +0. Okay. All right. Alora, where would you like to put the next development point?
Definitely espionage.
Espionage, that'll bring it up to +1. All right. Terra. Next point.
Resolve.
It'll bring your ability to adapt, overcome, and rally up by 1, bringing your defenses to 12. Okay, Simeon.
Resources, please.
Resources goes up to 11. Okay. Themis. Where would you like to put your development point?
That is a darn good question. I'm thinking operations, not gonna lie. If we can do that.
Operations is essentially a catch-all for anything. You can argue that operations is flexible. So you can definitely argue that anything that might be otherwise in a different category would fall under the realm of general operations. So it's a little bit flexible, which is I think why they start with a +2. So that'll bring you up to a +3. Excellent, thank you. Rin, where would you like to put number 6?
I would like to put number 6 on communications, please.
Okay, that will bring communications up to a 13. Okay. And next time, next time, Terra and Simeon, regardless, will go first and vice versa. Oh no, actually, sorry, other way around. The people who rolled the least will go first next time. So, Themis and Rin, after the next action, after the next domain action, or the next takes place, which is roughly about a week in between domain actions. Domain turns, I should say. On the next domain turn, Themis and Rin will go first. So remember that. So the next time that we spend development points, Themis and Rin will go first. That should be when you arrive It should be when you embark and arrive on the frontier of Tilverton. So many names to keep track of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got 6. So Clem, number 7, please. Where are you going to place number 7?
Did want to ask, quick question. What are those blank spaces for? Is that because we need more for them, or
I think to get the
like by the
point is
the
a
plus
lot of
3 and the
work.
plus 4?
Say that again.
I was just wondering what the blank spaces were for.
Oh, yes, you're right. That is correct. So, do you want to bring that operations up?
Yeah, definitely, for
Okay,
sure.
All right. Thank you for reminding me.
Definitely make
Yes.
that a plus 3.
Okay. All right. So,
Essie?
Yep.
Sorry, a quick side question.
okay.
I screen capped the initiative to save for later, since obviously we wouldn't be getting to this for a while.
Okay.
Do you want to pin that so it's easier to find later? It's in the notes.
Sure, I'll do it.
Channel.
Yeah, if you can, go ahead. If not, I'll do it later. Just remind me.
Okay.
All right, and Alora, you are able to place the last development point. So number 8, where would you like it to go? Or would you like to start working towards something higher?
Something higher? What do you mean?
Like you can bring operations up to like sub-level 1 towards plus 4.
No, I'm gonna bring up espionage one more point.
Espionage, okay, plus 2. Perfect. All right. Reminder that you have domain features, and I did share this in the Stormwatch private quarters. So this is your Martial Regiment sheet. So now the power pool. At any point, you can roll your power die, which is a d12. And whatever that is, you can use that rolled number in between domain turns. You can use... No, actually, that's a whole intrigue, not just domain turns. So if you want to roll your power die now, you can, or you can roll it whenever you want, whenever you're feeling spry, just to get it out there. And what will happen is whatever the number is ends up in the power pool. And you have until the end of Intrigue to use it. So they reset on the next Intrigue. And at any point during Intrigue, which will culminate, this Intrigue will culminate in the Battle for Shadowdale itself. So you have between now and the Battle of Shadowdale to use whatever you rolled in the power pool to use on a check to lower the enemy's defenses during Intrigue on this Martial Regiment sheet, on your party sheet. Or you can use it during actual in-game shenanigans. So whatever that... So if you roll stealth, for example, if you're rolling to sneak up on a Hillsfar Alliance scout in the Spider-Shorn jungles, right? In the Spiderweave jungles to the northwest of the Moonsea Ride. If you are rolling to sneak up on a Hillsfar agent and you roll 14 or 15 and you rolled a 6 on your d12, you could say, I would like to remove my power pool die from the power pool and add that 6 that I rolled on a d12 to my stealth roll of 14, bring it up to a 20, which is more than likely a success.
Wow.
Yeah. However, that removes your power die for the rest of the game. Or not for the rest of the game, for the rest of the Intrigue. Right? So that one round of game during Intrigue. However, the power pool die are available to everyone. So you can all roll a d12, and through discussion, one of you can say, may I use this die? Right? And it's up to you to keep track of whose roll is who. So if there's a 12 there, and somebody rolls like a 3, okay, or 3 or 4, and let's just say that Ange, you rolled a 12, and Nick really needs to beat this roll. Nick can be like, hey, Ange, can I use your 12 for this so I don't die, and it's up to you. I mean, and technically anyone can pull from the power pool, but there is sort of this level of etiquette that is kind of like you're expected to talk amongst yourselves and kind of figure out, am I going to let Nick use my this D12? Now, Nick can simply choose to use it, but I please don't do that without talking to your companions first, your friends and peers and colleagues, as we are all part of the same group here. So that's one of the interesting things about Kingdoms of Warfare is you roll your power die, your D12, it goes in the center, and it's there for anyone to use. Whenever, technically, you can use it whenever you want. So there's 6 of you. So 6 of you at any point can roll the D12. So the other thing that I can do is I have the dragons in here, right? So I can put a dragon. And what I can
If we
say...
wanted to keep track of who rolled which number, we could just put our character tokens on the points of the hexagon there in the middle, and then just put numbers on top.
That's a good idea. That we can do.
And I rolled a 2.
Okay. Well, Simeon, I'm going to put you on here. We have the Stonewatch PCs. Simeon chose to roll his die now. So we have Simeon, and I'm going to put it in we'll put it in the blue. Right, that makes sense to me because it's kind of a blue palette. So in the blue bar, we'll put a 2, not a 12. You did not roll a 12. You rolled a 2. I gave you an extra 1.
What's the benefit to rolling? What's the benefit to rolling these later versus now?
It doesn't really matter. You can roll it whenever you want.
Okay.
Yep.
So before Clem forgets, he will just do it now.
Yeah, all right. Rin, 11. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, you're all chilling in the pool. You're all chilling in the power pool. All right. Clem?
Era. Whoa.
Damn. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Clem, 12, yeah, and you can put little icons on your characters, whatever you want. Clem is 7. It's a 7, okay. Rin, an 11. Yeah, I like those little icons. Terra with a 12. My goodness. All right. It's the cool thing about Roll20. You can just drop any tokens you wish. So Terra at a 12. Okay. So, Ange, do you want to roll your power die now, or do you want to hold on to it? It's kind of the excitement of rolling.
D12, you say. Let's do it now.
Okay. All right, and Allura is rolled an 11. Damn, everyone's rolling so good. All right.
Decidedly average.
Allura at 11. These are really good rolls. 6,
Decidedly
yeah.
average was my nickname in high school.
Okay.
Clem and I in the single-digit power.
Wow.
All right, so we have Themis rolling a 6. Excellent.
I mean, a +2 is a +2 regardless, so.
Okay, so yeah, in the power pool we have an 11, a 12, a 2, a 7, and a 6. So at any point, whether it's during Intrigue, because we're going to be making a roll in the war room, right? Because one of your special abilities that you get as a martial regiment, specifically the type of martial regiment that you chose, because it's kind of like a subclass, right? So the martial regiment is sort of like your main class, right? Like a paladin or a fighter. And your subclass is what gives you extra abilities as well, which we're going to go over shortly. But for now, we have rolled our power die. 11, 7, 6, 2, 12, and 11. At any point, again, whether it is during Intrigue or whether it is during actual gameplay, you can discuss amongst yourselves whether or not you wish to add whatever these power die results are to any roll that you choose. You have also successfully leveled up your first round of development to what you see here. So 13 communications, a 12 resolve, 11 resources, plus 3 to operations, a flat 0 to lore, plus 2 to espionage, and diplomacy stands at +1. A reminder that you have armament and the professionals as a domain action, of which you have 7 remaining, one of which is going to be the war room, which we're going to do shortly. You can muster the professionals, which is your special unit that you can use in the final battle. It's essentially the rest of the Stormwatch. So you can call on the rest of the Stormwatch to accompany you in battle and call the entirety of these agents back to your side. Armament also allows you to increase your domain's resolve by fortifying your weapons. Now, in actual combat, you also have brute force. When a creature you see within 60 feet of you moves, you can use your reaction to take any number of these power dice from your domain's pool and make one weapon attack against the creature. Add the total of the power die to the attack roll and to the damage roll if it hits. So lots of good stuff here.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's a flat number. Never mind. I was gonna say if we land a crit, does that double?
It might. Your size is 5. You're crazy, man. Thank you. Hello. Welcome. So we're going to do, this is 5 out of 5. Let's see if we can get the bar up. Yeah, I think it's the only way that we can get it is if it says a number out of a number. When the power die is a D12. And then I can fill all this other information in. Maybe we'll actually get numbers or Roman numerals I can find. Actually, I probably can be able to do that, but I'll mess with that at a later date. There you go. Or you can just do that. Thank you.
Nice.
I mean, there's a text tool for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a text tool. I was here trying to do it with, freehand, and my mouse calligraphy is atrocious.
And I want to change the color
I had
of that.
considered that first too, and then I was like, wait a minute,
We'll make
we
it.
have technology.
Let's make it black. Yeah. Okay, that shows up nice. Okay. So yeah, it's the size. Power die is D12. Yep. Thank you. And so on and so forth. So this we can all add to whatever, but this is the basic idea. Any questions on the party sheet?
Not at this time.
Nope.
Okay. All right. We will bring it back for now, and we'll come back and mess around with the text tool at a different date. Now, back to
Awesome.
the banquet hall here. Is there anyone that you as a group or that y'all would like to reach out to and talk to and check in with? As you are all enjoying, again, those 20 to 25, sometimes even looks like there's 30 of them running in and out at the same time. The servants of Darkhold running in and out with silver platters of hors d'oeuvres, crudités, or devours, more turkey legs for Hunter, Falcon the Hunter, goblets of wine and mead. It's all very clean, though, right? Everything is very clean and well kept here. And as you saw, on the upper floor is probably lots of unseen servants also kind of cleaning things up as they go along as well. But you have, for now, the run of the banquet hall before you decide to make your first move in Intrigue and head up to the war room.
Would I already know Viper Tarina at all? Did you say she was the one that she's like the leader of the spies?
Tarina is the R-Dragon of Baldur's Gate. She is essentially going to be taking over for... Tarina is going to be taking over for Vendetta when Vendetta goes into deep cover.
Okay, so maybe not.
Who was the person you said handles like smuggling stuff into Waterdeep?
Nine
and that
Fingers
sort of
Keen.
operations.
Yep.
Right. Who was that on the map?
I will tell you in a second. I am currently loading up
Bottom.
another PDF, so stand by.
Bottom of the left, or bottom of the right Top right.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Rin will approach her.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, let's do another round of d20s here for a little faux initiative again. See who we can call on first. Just to make sure everybody gets in on the action a little bit. So another round of d20s. And you can also go together as a group too. So you don't have to... Yep, little rollies. Okay, and I think that was the 6, so we're starting it now at the 11, 1, 16, 8, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, missing 1. Who are we missing? Oh, there we go. Allura, 1, 4. Okay.
I think before anyone does anything, Rin will just look at everyone. Are we going as a group, or is everyone just sort of mingling on their own?
Good deal.
I don't have anything particularly interesting that I want to say. I might want to, check in with a few folks and then head on. The food looks good. No sense in wasting it talking.
Fair enough.
All right. So, Simeon, anywhere in particular that you want to go gravitate towards in this kind of who's who of the Zhentarim and the Zhentilar?
Only because there's an empty seat. He's gonna go and sit down next to Reyna, right? The Viper
Yes. Yep.
who brought us in.
Reyna Dietrich.
Yeah. Because that's a face he recognizes.
All right. Perfect. All right. So that would be next to Bolo, who is the R-Dragon commanding of the Borskir Bridge. I'll move your token over here. Put it on the chair. Oh,
Sit on the chair.
If you hold Alt while moving your
That's
token
That's
and let it
Yeah,
go,
the
you
Alt
can
key.
avoid the grid.
Yep.
There we go. I'm stuck on the grid and I can't get in my chair.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to believe he was just like struggling with the chair, like
Yeah,
he just
just,
couldn't sit down.
Sorry. The very so the woman sitting next to you is about 5'7", and she's very looks very, very strong, right? Lots of tone definition in her muscle. Sort of has this sort of very elegant looking sort of chainmail as you're kind of struggling with the chair. She just kind of takes her boot and kind of slides the chair out and just sit.
Many thanks.
You're able to just kind of slide it in. This guy over here, who introduced himself as R-Dragon Marcus, just first time at Darkhold.
Indeed. My last posting was not quite as interesting as this. It was it was the fires of Mellivant actually. So I prefer the Darkhold much more.
The guy up here, who introduced himself as R-Dragon Sully. So this is Viper Marcus and R-Dragon Sully. R-Dragon Sully kind of looks down and just, Mellivant, huh?
Indeed.
Haven't
Let
been there in ages.
Led a band to try and extract Deep Hill, and you can hear his voice drip with loathing as he says that halfling's name.
Huh. Just watch yourselves around the mistresses, huh? They can be a little wild.
Troublesome, yes.
And he kind of looks over your shoulder, and you can see this woman here was kind of looking over at the table and just does a little finger wave, and he's like, "Trust me. Don't get too involved." All right. Yeah. So other than that, they're not really engaged in too much. At least as far as world-shattering conversations go. So, but again, you have R-Dragon Matthias here, who is commanding what was described as the insurrection operation in Waterdeep. You have these two individuals from Yartar, which you know as a casino city, a floating casino city, and the Desserin Valley. So R-Dragon Sully and Viper Marcus. And also the woman here introduced herself as Tashlin Yefera, also a member of whatever this Waterdavian insurgency operation is, and also introduced herself as a member of the Doom Raiders. And of course, Reyna and a woman down here who introduced herself as the Ardragon of the Borskir Bridge region, which is a very small outpost in the Sword Coast. So, that being said, anybody, there's turkey, there's vegetables, there's mashed potatoes, gravy, wine, meat, everything to your heart's content, dinner rolls, all the above. You want to vibe with anything in particular, Jeff, or are you good just kind of enjoying the company for now?
Good for enjoying the company. I mean, Simeon specifically skipped out on eating down with the troops because he knew he was going to be getting nice stuff upstairs.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of
So
it.
it's definitely, kind of that soldier who's a bit above his rank, but, at least knows to use both hands and a fork.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's not a Marine, he's a Marine officer.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Rin, go ahead.
Yeah, so...
I like that. Marine,
Hold
not
on,
a Marine, a
I
Marine
need
officer.
to let go
Excellent.
of Alt to...
Yeah, no, you got mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts and gravy and cranberry sauce, the real kind, with like the actual berries in there. Really good spread.
Rin takes up a spot opposite Keen.
Okay.
Keen, wasn't it?
That's right. And you're Rin.
Right.
From Hillsfar.
Yes.
Ever been a part of a smuggling operation? The important kind?
Coincidentally, that's actually what I'm here to ask you about.
Well, that makes two of us then. Not that I have anything to ask you specifically, no offense, but...
As Rin is sitting down, by the way, she she runs her hand over her hair and just sort of fills in her features again, goes back to the tight fishtail braid, the nice makeup, the professional, formal Zhentarim look.
That's quite an impressive trick. I know quite a few changelings, and never ceases to impress me.
It's been useful. I'm curious to know if you've had any sort of experiences with smugglers from Hillsfar, specifically a half-elf by the name of Trick.
Trick? Can't say that I have, but I can look into it and have the Black Network reach back out to you. Me and Vendetta, along with, and they kind of look over their right shoulder at Amric Van Thampur. And then myself and Vendetta are going to be working very closely over the next several weeks and perhaps months. That being said, I'll have a lot of access to the Black Network contacts that I don't usually have access to. So I'll look into this smuggler from Hillsfar, see if maybe any of my contacts know who they are. You said Trick, right? Like a card trick?
He's a half-elf man, probably around 5'7" or so. He looks to be on the older side, although for a half-elf it's hard to tell how old he is. It's not it's not an urgent thing at all, but he's an old family friend that I haven't seen in years and wouldn't mind reconnecting with to how to phrase it.
Elena, you hear anything about this? And the tiefling woman looks back and was kind of listening in, and no, not to my knowledge. Trick, half-elf, what color hair?
That's a good fucking question. Did I write that down?
Maybe. You can just make it up if you want.
Oh, I know I can, but if I already wrote it down, then why would I make it up?
That is a good question.
He's got thin grey hair, usually down to his shoulders. Typically has it tied back. Tattoos on his body.
What kind of tattoos? Says the tiefling.
I never got a great look at them. I think they were mostly sort of navy things. I think there was an anchor on one arm, that sort of thing.
An anchor.
He usually hides his pointed ears when he's working.
An anchor and a nautical star, and what was the other one?
It's really hard to say. I knew him mostly when I was young. I haven't seen him in years. I just know it was sort of, like I said, sort of naval tattoos, that sort of thing.
I mean, it sounds, well, to be blunt, it sounds like someone I may have had an interaction with. If the same tattoos and the same description are correct, it was within a year. I can tell you that much. I got a really good look at the tattoos. It was a nautical star, an anchor, and the largest piece on his chest was the. It's usually hidden by a shirt, but the ship that's being grasped by a kraken, right?
I think so. Yes. I never saw him without his shirt on, but I think I might have seen like part of that one. Yeah.
Oh, right. He's also got a few other tattoos, some smaller ones down by his hips, but
he used to smuggle supplies into Hillsfar for my dad, and I mean, a lot's happened. There's a reason I'm here and not there.
Well, he's certainly good with small places, small spaces.
Yeah, he's talented at smuggling for sure.
9 leans in and says, "You know who that is, right?" And kind of gestures over to Helena.
Is there history here that I'm not aware of?
And Helena, oh no, I'm sorry. I just run the brothels in Baldur's Gate.
Oh, so he's a client, to put it.
That's
roughly.
all I can say.
No, I understand.
Other than
If
I saw
you
him within a
happen
year,
to-
though.
That's good to know. If you happen to make his acquaintance again, just perhaps point him in my direction or something. I just want to let him know what happened, sort of fill him in on things that he might have missed since the last time he was in Hillsfar.
Of course, 9. You and I will of course work on this, right? I think I can. I think we can find a way to try and get a message. Is it okay to say Rin of the Stormwatch is seeking to reconnect? I know, being from Hillsfar, as he said he was from Hillsfar, he was smuggling some folks out of Hillsfar and, well, into the welcome arms of, well, everyone in this hall.
It might be easier if you say Jacob's daughter is looking for him.
Okay. I think I can remember
He'll know
that.
what that means.
Jacob's daughter. And 9 says, "Steel trap." I got it. So if I forget, remind me, because 9 will remember, but SE might not remember.
I will pester you constantly with all of the things, as I always do. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to accomplish at the moment. So Rin's just gonna hang out with these people and eat, well, hang out at the banquet. Maybe later as things seem to be winding down, or as people seem to stop eating, she'll maybe play an instrument for a bit or sing or something, bard stuff.
Sure.
But for the moment, yeah, just hang out with people.
Okay.
Get to know smugglers and the like.
Make a general performance check as you do. Mistress Irasoth kind of leans in and says, kind of eavesdropping on the conversation, "What was he like?" And Helena says, "That is attorney-client privilege, Irasoth."
I'm using DM inspiration on that nat 1.
Oh, not attorney-client. That is client privilege, not attorney. She's not an attorney. She says that is client. Yeah, right. She says that is privileged client information, Irasoth. Go back to your gossip on that side of the table, please. Oh, so you said was it the natural 1 or the 25?
So I rolled a nat 1,
Yep.
and then I used DM inspiration for a 25.
Okay. All right. Yeah. As you are playing, where are we gonna? Yeah, I'll say the liaison from the Archers division of the Zhentilar is able to say that's really quite beautiful what you're playing. Better
Gotta hold the
call
fucking button.
better call Helena. Yeah, no, she's not an attorney. She's the mistress of a brothel. That is
I mean,
privileged
same
client
thing.
information, not attorney-client information.
Thank you. Spent a lot of time by yourself. You got to learn how to do it well, yeah?
Of course. The captain of the ship called the Wing of Dread walks over, kind of puts an elbow down on the table, and kind of just kind of flicks her hair out of her eyes, and kind of leans in, and yeah, she's got a point. Very beautiful. Where'd you learn to play like that?
Not really where. I've had the loot for a long time, and I don't know, it's one of those things, for me at least. I was bad at it, and I stayed bad at it for a while, and then I was alright, and then eventually I was good. Sometimes you just kind of fuck up until you don't.
I like that. Practice makes perfect, right?
That's the hope, anyway.
Fake it till you make it, that sort of thing. Been there, believe me.
Absolutely.
Well, I know I already did. We've already both done redundant introductions, but Captain Morris Silgar, but you can call me Missy. Captain of the Winged Dread, at your service.
Nice to meet you more directly.
Of course. Right, I'm you know what? Let me get this chair over here, and she kind of walks back over and kind of picks up the chair, puts it over one shoulder, and kind of slams it down over here. Right, that's a little better. And kind of just leans in. Now, this be real, you're quite lovely, and I'm very curious to know a lot more about you. Where you're from, that sort of thing, what makes you tick. I'm all
Is
ears,
that so?
I would say.
I'm
not much
I'm better
of a
ans-
sewer, but more of a tanner myself. It's a bad joke. Not actually either of those things.
Well, I mean, ask any questions you like. I'm better at answering questions than I am at stating things, for lack of a better way to put it.
Right, well, let's start at the beginning. She kind of leans in and say just general conversation from there for the next half an hour or so. And in the meantime, yeah, well, that's happening. That was the 6, 16, 11. Okay, Clem, anybody that you want to talk to in particular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clem is going to...
Followed by Themis.
First.
Themis, if there's someone you want to talk to, start thinking about that, because you're going to go after Clem about anyone that you want to point out. But go ahead, Clem.
Clem is going to, after scribbling quite a bit, he's going to walk over to Nazgriz and kind of plop himself on the table, lean over,
But
and hand him...
before you do, you are these two Dread Praetorians are kind of like on you in a second, and the Emperor says, "It's fine, it's fine," and they kind of just back off a little bit.
And then he'll finish putting down the note that has some of his favorite foods on it, and he'll just kind of wink for later. And then he will start to march off without much explanation.
Okay, he kind of looks at it and folds it up, and Gareth, just as you're walking away, he kind of looks over and, Nazgris, do you ever not? And you just see his mouth moving, and he's like very nonchalant about it. Okay, Themis, anyone you want to talk to or check in with?
Oh, I was gonna say that was
go
just
ahead,
a
sorry.
side thing. He was actually gonna move
okay,
to...
okay. Sorry about that. We'll follow.
Sorry,
Well, that's okay. We'll follow up with Themis momentarily.
Yeah, because he wants to head over to who's the lady by Jarlaxle?
Great.
Dhuurniv.
Yes, the matron, one of the matrons of House Dhuurniv, Griana Dhuurniv.
He wants to approach her, and
Okay. As you do,
Kind
immediately,
of, huh?
Jarlaxle turns around and says, "Oh, I was hoping you would come in my direction." And the man down in the other room says, "No, yes, indeed. You're very curious. I love the accoutrement that you have. Is very. The ears are quite. I'm sure they are very soft." And Brianna turns around as you approach, and says, "Hello. I hope you are here to save me from these two fucking." I will save the colorful language. My rage prevents me
he
from thinking of
will-
anything clever.
He will nod very respectfully towards both of them, and then he will just quietly hold out a hand for her. If you'd like to follow, I'd like to have some conversation with you.
Thank the goddess. Yes, please. And, man down here, what is the problem? I'm just trying to engage in some simple conversation. Nothing wrong with that, yes? In fact, a woman so lovely as yourself, and she's like, "Get me the fuck out of here, please."
So Clem is going to take her to kind of towards the end of the table, over here where it's a little more quiet. But as he's leaving, he will say, "You can pet the ears later if you want." But yeah, he wants to be more just kind of isolated from everyone else.
Yeah. The representative from the Emerald Enclave, you can hear him be like, "Well, I like you guys." and they both kind of like, "Oh, yes, yes. Thank you." And
Of course.
Sure.
yeah. Poor Falcon.
Guy.
What you got on your hands here is, I think, what they referred as an underdark cock block.
Uh,
God, you know what?
I think it was Ren that called him like Emerald Enclave Kuwabara or something, and I feel it.
yeah.
But yeah, no, Clem will, I guess, respectfully, courteously pull out the chair for her, let her sit down, and then he'll just kind of, just squat on this chair. It's probably a little, not the biggest for him, but he makes do.
This woman is staring daggers at you. It's like,
insight check?
yeah, go ahead. She slowly starts to get up.
Oh no.
Show me an insight roll. Dahlia, please, insight check. Thank you. Natural 20.
Oh, I thought that was
Hey.
I thought that was for him.
Um,
Okay. Well then, if it's for me, checking out that angry face.
oh no, I saw you roll an insight check in the chat. So,
Oh right, yeah, I thought
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
activating it a way for someone else or for him to do it when he got the stare down.
Oh,
well, that would have given it to you at advantage. So if you want to give someone advantage on the next insight check, you can hold on to that because he rolled an nat 20, so he doesn't need the advantage on the insight check.
Dolly, I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, but whoever wants that other insight can grab it. So yeah, she starts walking over. Make a history check for
Did
me.
already roll it.
Piggyback. Yep. Oh. Something happened
History?
there. Yep. Make a history check. I rolled 20, crashed.
Okay.
Make a history check. Let me know what you get, because I can do it through theater of the
Cool.
mind. In the
Um,
meantime.
he is a little rattled, so I might as well use my Tides of Chaos to get advantage on this, please.
Uh oh. Okay. Sure. Whew.
It won't do anything. Just gives me advantage, I promise.
Okay.
13, I think.
13, and then okay. So then I get to choose when you roll on the chaos table, right?
If I cast a spell that's leveled,
right,
you
okay.
can just say, don't even roll for a magic surge. You just roll on the table right away.
Okay.
So
All right. Okay. History 13. The Red Wizards. You don't know anything about this this rogue splinter faction, but the Red Wizards are known for necromancy, and you seem to have some sort of an artifact in your possession that
oh Jesus.
may well be attracting those who are sensitive to it. She
Oh
just
my
kind of,
God.
not breaking eye contact, walks around the table.
This hand is causing me all kinds of problems.
All right.
And kind of slowly sits down. Looks over at
uh,
Grayana and says, Mistress Grayana, I hear that our plights are similar. If you don't mind, I would very much like to listen in on this conversation and perhaps offer whatever insights or maybe even a red wizard or two to come to your aid. Grayana just, I don't see why not.
he'll just kind of nervously look at back at both of them for a moment, but then he will.
May I see the hand you're carrying?
Just going for it. All right.
He will hear it. Do I have to roll for that? See how he feels about handing that over?
Nope.
He will pull it out and kind of, in a very macabre sense, hold it up and start waving it at her.
May I hold it?
He'll think about it for a couple seconds.
Okay.
He'll kind of lean it over and is very nervous about this. Does it very slowly to see what the barrier of
Yeah.
his hesitance is.
Nothing.
He will, I guess, see if he can gently put it on the middle of the table.
Okay.
But before he lets go, he will say, "It is a gift for someone, so you can't keep it."
I wasn't planning on it. I would very much like to perhaps help you understand what this is. And she kind
And then
of...
he will let go, if he can.
Okay. I gotta pull up her stat sheet. This is gonna be great.
And as
She...
well, he'll apologize to the Lady of House Dhuurniv, because he's like, I really wanted to ask you about, I guess, what we're coming up against, if you have time today.
Absolutely. If we can gain the assistance of a couple of red wizards, that would be most beneficial to our cause. There's no reason that she shouldn't have this. I'm gonna say she's gonna cast Identify as a ritual for 10 minutes.
Jeez.
That's exactly what she says.
Because there's not a single wizard in the party.
I guess if it's taking 10 minutes, then Clem will definitely pepper
Yeah.
the person with questions about
Yeah.
both the things that are going to be happening, well, I guess what she's been enduring, but also things related to, I guess, what's going to happen with their next endeavor, if there's anything he can do to help preserve her culture, I guess, and make sure that things are not tarnished by war.
Our culture stands on the brink of annihilation. Human law in Hillsfar and this allegiance and alliance that they've formed has driven us back into the earth. We broke from Loth decades ago. Some of her traditions and practice mingle almost seamlessly. Oh, hydrator dice, right? Thank you very much. The Drow of House Dhuurniv are a unique. We are a unique subdivision of Drow. Our particular culture is a combination of the remnants of the teachings of Loth and of Elistray. We retain elements of matriarchy, the power of femininity, power of womanhood. The teachings that we received from Loth and Elistray, we combine together. There is no light without darkness and no darkness without light. Even as the sun shines, we can still find shelter beneath the canopy of the forest. In a shallow cave, under a web, woven by giant spiders, atop a thick canopy. There is music, the music of Elistray. And there is justice, that of Loth. Our culture, I believe, is unique amongst all the other houses, amongst all the other ethnic groups of drow that exist. Between drow that dwell in the cold north, dwell in the deepest parts of the Underdark, that dwell in the jungles, dwell in the marsh or the forest. All of our cultures are unique, and ours is no exception, and I will fight to my dying breath to preserve it. What can you do? What can any of you do other than what you're already doing? You can keep your word. Your word to help. Your word to give us back our home, our identity, and our culture that was stripped away from us. The children in Shadowdale wear necklaces of the ears of my sisters. They trade them. They pin them to walls, on placards. They collect hands and fingers and jewelry, and wear them like day-to-day trinkets to a sewing circle or a book club. We are lower than the lowest form of creature to them, and they all must suffer for it.
You can hear the whatever material this chair is made out of, you can hear it kind of cracking, like he's threatening to break it.
But tell me,
But he relaxes.
Clem, when you see that it is not just the soldiers, but the entire population of Shadowdale who sees us as such low creatures, how much mercy will you have to spare?
Good question.
You will see soon enough. I can only hope that the will of the Zhentarim and the will of you and your allies is as unbreakable as it's rumored to be.
I trust my allies' judgment as well. I know coming here, I've learned that those of this plane tend to be more sturdy in their emotions than that of my people in the Fae. So when I'm there, I'll know what I'll do, but
My people and I have
just
been
have to see.
Indeed. My people and I have been fighting this resistance for the better part of a century. We are war-weary and worn, and we desperately crave justice, unlike no other For some of us, it will be an insatiable bloodlust when we knock down the walls that they have erected outside of our ancient homeland, of which they have in preparation for your arrival. By the time the army arrives, the walls of Shadowdale will be complete. Now, it's a very large rural area, so there will be weak spots. The material used to build this wall will be cheap. It will be easily toppled, but it will be a wall at least 10 feet high nonetheless. But when those gates come down, when the walls are breached, and we flood through, because I have no doubt that we will, we could do it with 1,000, never mind 10. Remember that no one is free from guilt. Not when they give their children's trophies of the dead of my sisters. The only question is, like I said, do you have the stomach to do what is necessary? Keep our culture alive. She pours you a glass of wine.
I know that whatever we decide to do, I can promise that no matter what, I'm going to make sure you get your home back.
I am more reasonable than my sister, Soiree. I can tell the difference between maturity and wickedness that is thrust upon people. I will do my best to stay my sister's hand. My eldest sister has a lack of empathy that can only come with age as the elder, and the same goes for my youngest sister. The one is done of malice, and the other is done of wisdom. One that I cannot even comprehend. The decision to act without question for my eldest. I will do my best to contain Soiree, as she will be the most cruel. But you have to understand. We can only bear the sight of so many trophies of our sisters, our friends, and our lovers before it really damages you. Mia says, looks at the hand. Fascinating. Looks back at you, Clem. And just hands it over to you.
And he will take it. He is curious, but
Eat it like a turkey leg.
he is all, I mean, he will kind of almost absentmindedly take it because he's very focused on just listening. Only really saying anything if he's kind of prompted to.
She just hands it back. You might want to give this to a woman.
Now he'll look.
And just kind of stands up. And as she walks, she says, "Tell your companions it's not what they think it is." She stops and turns.
What do they think it is?
She smiles. And just walks back over in this direction. Oh.
I would also like to know what we think it is, because I don't
Right.
have a think.
She may also be referring to the Zhentarim in general.
Oh.
Just, she stops again. Just know that it's an artifact of great power, and its secrets even I cannot discern. Use it with caution, if you use it at all. And
He's gonna wonder if he is good at the lottery, or if all those hands are powerful artifacts on that mermaid.
An agent of chaos such as yourself might want to be careful with wielding such an object of power. You don't want to cause a rift in time-space, now do you?
Do you straight up have a
I
monkey's
mean, I do
paw?
now.
He's gonna start writing this down so he can give that note to Simeon when he gives it to him.
Okay. Anything else for Clem?
No, I think he will just, yeah,
Okay.
try and wrap his mind around this hand, and then he'll just, yeah, continue to listen to her and talk with her.
All right. So, Themis, who do you want to talk to?
That's a darn good question.
It is, yeah.
What I'll probably do is, no, you know what? I'm gonna slowly make my way down. Slowly make it go away. Computer cooperate. Make my way down.
Making my way. Posture
And
check.
then
Thank you,
just
technically.
you know what? I will take the empty chair that she vacated.
Okay.
And if I could get in the right.
Alt. Use Alt.
Yeah, if you hold down Alt while you move, you can kind of sneak into one of those seats.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. I'll
Yeah.
just sit there and kind of just be on some level of defensive, but not obviously.
Ah, good day to you, madam. It is quite prestigious to meet a member of the Winter Wolves, was it? Soldiering battalion from the north. This is this guy over here. Kind of twirls his mustache a little bit. Welcome. You are seated amongst royalty here at this table. This is, of course, the finest table to be seated at. You chose wisely. I can see you have indispensable and most auspicious tastes.
You.
uh,
I'm just gonna let him ramble and listen and not say much.
Across the table, yeah, he's doesn't seem like too bad of a guy to me. I mean, the maybe comes on a little strong, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta chill a little bit with that there, buddy. But he's like, excuse me, please do not call me buddy. And the other guy over here, the other end of the table, is like, all right, whatever you say, buddy. And Jarlaxle just kind of puts his feet up on the table and is kind of sipping on wine, kind of his boots up here at the end. And he says, I'm dreadfully sorry about all this. Jarlaxle Bainray of the Burgundy Arth. Pleasure.
Jarlax, the pleasure is mine.
Do you know who I
Just
am?
kind of, she just. That's a darn good question. Do I know? Does Themis know who he is?
Make a history check and roll over a 5.
That is a not natural 20.
Is it a natural 1?
No, it's a 19 on the die, so
Ooh,
20 total.
yeah. Okay, so absolutely, yeah. So you know, Jarlaxle is one of the most famous swashbucklers, adventurer extraordinaires in all of the Sword Coast. He is renowned for his daring, his bravado, his popularity amongst people, his ability to make new friends and to be smooth and suave. He is also known for being a very popular, almost like a celebrity in and around the Waterdeep region. And also operates again the Burgundy Arth out of Luskan, which is sort of a massive navy of privateers, if you will.
Themis will just kind of respond, well, who doesn't know who you are by now? And give him a look for having his boots up on the table.
I appreciate that. do you have a drink that we can cheers or toast to? And he kind of just holds out his wine glass.
I will reach into my pocket, pull out a flask, and basically raise a glass.
All right. A woman who carries her own flask. I like that. And just kind of cheers your flask. Flasks are better anyway than whatever they have here. The wine is acceptable, but sometimes it's good to bring your own reserve, of course. Kind of puts his feet down and straightens up the chair and crosses his legs and kind of turns kind of to face you a little bit. You have my attention.
Been here longer than I.
Well, as an elf, I would certainly say so, yes.
I meant more this region, this area. It took us quite some time to get here and whatnot.
Oh, well, Darkhold I'm not too familiar with. I've only been here a handful of times. And it's always average to above average as far as the food and the dining is exceptional. I have to say that as far as the spread and what they do to impress the guests. But
I assume your information network. I assume you have information of what we can expect come the morning.
Well, come the morning, we can expect probably a bacon and eggs, wheat toast, some croissants, that type of thing. A few hangovers, of course. Get a bad hangover with cheap wine like this. I see what they're going for, but it's not refined enough as it should be. Needs more of a skilled hand.
You think you can provide better?
I know people who can. And Falcon on the other side's like, I don't know, I think wine's pretty good. That's this guy. So Falcon is known. Falcon is our official himbo. He is the himbo.
Okay.
He's gunning for your title, Clem.
Yeah.
He's gunning for your title.
No.
He might win
Darkhold-
that one, honestly.
Darkhold is a bit far inland for a privateer, and he even is. He's basically saying as much, right, about how I've only been here a
Yep.
handful of times, and
I'm debating whether or not I actually want to challenge him or not.
Do it. Do it. Assert your dominance.
yeah,
Perfect time.
yeah.
If you think you can do better than this, why are you here?
Oh no, I mean I'm talking about the wine. I can do better than
I'm-
the wine.
So to prove it, do something about it.
I will. When next time you're in Luskan or Waterdeep, I will have much better wine ready for the tasting.
At the point of ridiculousness, I'm going to not ask, but I'm going to take his glass, take a sip, so I have something to compare it to, and then give it back to him. Just to get a reaction out of him.
I like a woman who takes the initiative. I also like men who take the initiative. I like people who take the initiative, really. And our very dull friend at the other end of the table is also quite handsome. Falcon has no idea that he's talking about him. He's just kind of like totally oblivious, eating his turkey leg. Falcon's like, what? It's like, oh, don't worry about it, darling. It's totally fine. Carry on. Enjoy the turkey leg. That's pretty good turkey leg, I'm not going to lie here. It's quite a good... Yes, we know. It's bread. Across the table. This woman locks eyes with you. You immediately... You have this moment of... It clicks for you. Knight Captain Zhentalia was one of the captains who fought with a regiment of the Silvery Moon Sentinels in the War of the Silver Marches. You may have only met her in passing, Silvery Moon was essentially at the center of the entire conflict. And Knight Captain Zhentalia, who sits directly across the table from you, who's just been kind of looking over in your direction the whole time, just waits for you to lock eyes with her, and you finally do, and you kind of both have this moment of silent recognition, and even you can see that she has eyes of admiration. It's likely Themis does too, but the Silvery Moon Sentinels, the warriors of Silvery Moon, the elvish infantry, were some of the most feared. They cut down swaths of the orcish horde that descended from the mountains.
Once recognition hits, I will give her a slight bow of respect.
She does the same, following suit. Oh, I think you might have been muted there for a second. Try again.
I will ask her.
Yep.
I'll ask her directly. Are you ready to go through this again?
I don't think anyone is really ready to go through this again. But Silvery Moon will once again see its people thrust into war. From what I am told, it will not come to us for quite some time, and we have much to prepare for. Me being here is, for now, simply a courtesy. The Lady of Silvery Moon is yet undecided as to how the actions of the war in the East will affect the West, to how the Lord's Alliance will respond, and to how we will be expected to respond in kind. Silvery Moon is, of course, a member of the Lord's Alliance. We are simply here as an emissary of peace, for the time being. But should war come to the Sword Coast, and should the machinations of the Harpers and the Lord's Alliance and the sycophants that followed Dagult's Order of Ao and whatever other nonsense he claims to profess from the heavens, Silvery Moon will not hesitate to act independently and in its own interest, as it always has. The brightest and the best center of learning in all the world must be preserved, and it must not fall to decay in the form of bigotry and close-mindedness. By continuing to side with the Lord's Alliance, by continuing to favor Dagult as a member of the Lord's Alliance, not immediately expelling his membership, the Lord's Alliance has already made their first move, their first strike against the Lady of Silvery Moon, though her sister, unfortunately, stands strong and stalwart in their defense of a unified realm, especially in the face of what they call Zhentarim aggression. The Silvery Moon, for now, must remain neutral. I am, again, only here as an emissary, but should I see you again on the battlefield, Themis, my gut tells me it will be shoulder to shoulder, rather than face to face. Let's hope, for your sake, that it is shoulder to shoulder. She smiles. As it once was.
I could not agree more. For the sake of your people and for mine.
As terrible as that would be, I feel like I sit here amongst like-minded individuals. I can only hope and pray that the Lord's Alliance will see reason and expel Dagult for his actions and the suffering that he has caused to countless, hundreds if not thousands. Silvery Moon cannot abide this type of wanton disregard the basic principles of humanoid rights and civil rights, it will not stand for long. But we must play the game, Themis, as you know.
All too well.
The woman down here kind of looks over and was listening in. My benefactor, also from Waterdeep, and our interests in the Order of the Gauntlet, seem to be incapable of action. I am simply here also as an emissary to observe and report back to my benefactor. I have nothing to offer, but know that nothing is as it seems. And that there are people who stand by what the Zhentarim believes in. It is complicated, to be sure, and I can only hope, Torm willing, that we see wisdom in the carnage that is to come, and hopefully save as many lives in the process as possible. That's what I'm here to represent.
We can only hope that carnage and casualties will be kept to a minimum.
Well, I, for one, have been promised a double cut of sort of incentives and a big juicy contract if we can get the if we can have a change of management in Waterdeep. It'll be about double what I'm making now. So this old gal stands with ya. There's like a long silence that follows that. Well, don't let me ruin the mood here. I'm gonna get back to this delightful spread. Jarlaxle kind of leans in and... Right, the Winter Wolves. Or the Silver Marches. That was quite an exciting time, wasn't it?
Exciting is hardly the word I'd use for it.
Oh, but the bards will sing of your exploits for generations. I will make sure of it. In fact, I'll commission some songs for the Winter Wolves between now and the next time I see you. And that special wine. Kind of raises the glass and takes a sip from the same spot that you did.
Does he get a mouthful of Leonin fur?
He just takes a little...
I was going to say, she has a furry muzzle.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, he just kind of wipes out a little bit of hair. Kind of maybe to prove a point.
I wasn't even thinking of that when I did that.
Anything else that you wish to do, or anyone else that you wish to talk to down here, Themis?
No, I got my knowledge, and the knowledge I was looking for, and the entertainment value I wanted.
Excellent. All right, so Allura and then Terra, and then we will cut over to the war room. We are getting close to time.
I think Allura is going to try to vibe around here and chat with the Mistress of Coin and chat with Riviera, and of course also try to get to know Lady Lasha Vexia as I'm in range to spark up conversation.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and make your way down there. Open table, by the way, in between these little vignettes if you want to get up and move around, take meds, drink water, whatever you need to do. Because we have a little bit more of a time crunch than we do on the Heaven's Fire Saturday nights because it's Monday. So open table, go ahead and get up whenever you need to, use the restroom, etc. Whatever you need to do. Okay, so making your way down over here. Okay, so you're at the head of the table. Lady Moonfire. Ah, Allura. Delightful. Just don't steal anything from me, right?
Absolutely not. Obviously, you have a count on it.
Most people lose their hands for that. You'll lose your head.
I'd rather not test it.
Smart woman.
Yeah, I don't have anything particular that I wanted to ask. I just want to try to get in good with these people, I guess. With
Yeah.
the people that count the riches.
She leans in and leans over and says, "But don't worry, Laura. No one in my employ, nor myself, got where we are today from being completely honest and upstanding merchants, right? Again, you have to know how to play the game."
Most definitely. That's why I'm trying to meet the players.
Well, there's only one at this table if you're concerned with coin that you need to worry yourself with, and that is me. And you are talking to the right woman, Alora.
Fantastic.
Now, there's something at this table for everyone. If you're dark and broody, you can go and talk to Geralt Baelor over here, or if you like swinging your sword and decapitating your enemies, or running them through with your custom-forged greatsword that is quite impressive. Riviere Darkwind is your woman, but she's your commander anyway. You already knew that. If you're looking to flirt, Archmage Yulasha Vexia, High Whip Mistress Delorum, Mistress Irisoth, but that flirting can lead to intense pain if that's what you're into. Jericho is a bookworm. These two are tacticians, chess players. I still haven't figured Vess out, though. You just kind of look down and you see her this small goblin woman finishes chugging a mug of ale and just lets out a belch across the table. Right. Still haven't figured her out.
Seems straightforward enough, really.
But you're right. Never really my crowd, as it were.
Sometimes you just have to make friends, you know?
Of course. Commander Riviere looks over at you and just, mind yourself, Alora. Just be careful. That's all. Lady Moonfire says, "It's completely fine, Riviere. I have it well in hand." Looks back over to you.
I don't really have anything.
Oh, that was it? Okay. All right, yeah, so you just kind of...
I just schmooze and watch people.
All right, giggling with Lady Moonfire. Archmage Yulasha Vexia sends you a couple more winks. Just spending some time with the Lady of Loudwater and Archmage Yulasha, who kind of straddles, choice of words there, the line between the Order of Pain Exalted and the Black Hand and the Sable Accord.
Right, House of Pain was it? That is very interesting.
You hear from down the table, House of Pain Exalted.
Well, that definitely puts a finer point on it.
All right, Tara. Who would you like to talk to?
Tara is going to get a plate of food. There isn't really anyone in particular that she wants to talk to. She's more interested in eating.
Mm-hmm.
But she is going to come down here and sit right there. And just kind of make small talk.
Yeah.
As she's trying to eat as politely as she can.
Okay. What kind of small talk are you making? It's a very interesting corner of the table to visit.
Just kind of like a head nod, hello. When she first gets over there, she kind of just says, is anyone sitting here? May I have this seat? And as long as they say that was fine, she would sit down and just, hello, how are you? What do you do? Basically, like just kind of like get to know you talk.
This woman says, Well, I think the seat belongs to Darkhold, but you're welcome to claim it by right of conquest.
Tara gives a little chuckle and says, "Well, thank you," and sits down.
She kind of stands up and kind of picks up the chair and kind of slams it down. And no one's sitting here. Be our guest, I suppose.
Okay. I'm Tara. And you are?
Thane Skira von Brun of the North.
It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
She is best girl.
Tara, right? She is best girl.
Yes, that's correct, Tara. And she's like shoveling food in her mouth and like trying to talk around bites of nibbles.
It's a shame my sister could not make it. Anyway, and the woman across the table kind of looks over and kind of looks at, you would be a good candidate for that hand. That artifact that your friend has belongs to a woman, and as such I think it should return to one. Not that it really matters too much, but for those who wish to retain masculine energies might find themselves a little conflicted with the artifact that you have in your possession, that your friend Clem so eagerly plucked from somewhere in the Sword Coast. How it got to where and when is beyond me, but I'll tell you the same thing that I told him. It is not what many of the people in this hall might surmise it to be. I believe Manchun already has that artifact, but you'll have to find him first, and then you can compare, but from what I know, he was last seen in Waterdeep.
Do you have any other information as to where we might start besides just Waterdeep?
Well, Waterdeep I think is on the list, but the artifact that you have, my point was, it's not what anyone here probably surmises it to be. It is interesting. And I think that if it found its way to you, that you should use it. Interesting things may happen if you do.
I'll see if I can get Clem to let me use it.
Will you...
Go
ahead, sorry.
I was just saying I like interesting things.
You are very interesting yourself.
Well, thank you. I try.
Kind of flicks her hair off to the side a little bit. Do me a favor, if you would, somehow, some way, Tara. In your travels, if you choose to use this artifact that you have in your possession, if you can find a way to indulge my curiosities, reach out to me through the sending spell for whoever has it, or for whoever learns how to use it properly. Let me know what comes about you using it. Because when I tried to identify it, it eluded even me. Vague answers and only whispers of its true potential and what it means for this world. From what I gathered, it exists beyond the reality that exists as we perceive it.
Well, that is interesting. You don't think it's going to kill me if I try to use it, do you? That would really put a damper on my plans.
Just the opposite, my friend. It will make you, or whoever wields it, very, very powerful. Though with your stone skin, I think it might be lost on you. You already have a bit of resilience, but it may prolong your time on this world exponentially. And then perhaps in 100 years or so, if you find yourself in Thay, outliving your friends, if you choose to wield it, maybe you can look me up. and we'll have this discussion again.
I would like that.
Or we can have it again in a year if we're all still here. The choice is yours.
I'll definitely keep you updated on what happens with it. I would like to discuss this more at a future date as well.
The Thane kind of slams her hand on the table. Is it going to be a contest of arms then to win the favor of this maiden?
Wait, am I the maiden or is she the maiden?
Yes, you are the maiden.
Oh, okay.
Necromancer woman, what say you do a contest of arm wrestling?
You have to beat the maiden in an arm wrestling match to win the maiden's hand.
And Mia kind of looks over at Terra and just... and then looks back at the Thane. Why not both? The Thane kind of... I... never thought of that, but it's... They both kind of look at you.
Have 2 arms.
Oh
One on
my
each
god. Wow, give yourself DM inspiration.
Wow.
Give yourself DM inspiration for being fucking gay in the best way. I love it.
And use it immediately. Ooh, we got
Yeah.
a raid.
Hey, there's a raid. Perfect timing. You came at just the right
We-
time for the gay.
If we ever get merch, we need DM inspiration for being gay in the best way.
Yes.
Like, that needs to be on
Mm.
merch. I want a shirt. I would wear it.
Please, hold on. DM inspiration for being gay. I want to type that in the chat.
Anything I can do for this double
Well,
arm wrestle?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking something completely different, but yeah, the arm wrestling too. Sure, that works.
Unrelated, one of my other D&D streams, they just printed stickers, be gay, roll initiative.
I love that. That's awesome.
Nice.
And for those just joining us, we are ESB D&D, Queer Witches playing tabletop role-playing games. You can join our Discord server with over 140 active members. Also, Queer Witches playing tabletop role-playing games. We also have the YouTube channel with all the VODs for the VOD squad. 200 subscribers. We're doing an Attack on Titan one-shot in our community, so stay tuned for that. But, hello, everyone. We're playing MCDM Kingdoms of Warfare X Rise of the Zhentarim Reclamation, which is my own homebrew campaign about reclaiming the Moonsea. So we're doing a little intrigue right now. There was a banquet held in honor of the Stormwatch to celebrate the launch of war in the East, and here we are. So, Terra, carry on.
Yes.
Are you like putting your arms on the table like an arm wrestling thing? And...
I took that differently.
Me too. Me
but-
too. I did too. I just want to make sure, because because
Um,
other people took it differently, and it made me second guess myself. But okay, I'm glad we're on the same page, girl.
Yeah. That's what I meant. But if you want to arm wrestle, I will. Last time I
Okay.
arm wrestled in one of your games, I magically did really, really well and got a girlfriend. So
Yeah.
I'm down to try that
Okay.
again.
No, yeah. I mean, if you don't, I mean, if you're not going for it, I think they both pick up on it, and they both get a little flustered. But the thing would be like, well, I mean, I'll arm wrestle you actually anytime, but perhaps we can arrange for to meet each other after the. This woman kind of puts her arm over the back of the chair and just bites her lower lip. I mean, I'm open for anything. It's just like throwing it out there.
I mean, I came here to eat some food and meet some nice people. So, I mean, I'm down for whatever.
And she
Arm
just-
wrestling, getting to know one another, whatever.
And yeah, there are many ways to get to know one another, but let's start with the crudités first. She kind of leans in and does one of these, like... And like her eyes are red like that too. So when she smirks like that, it's like, whew! And the Thane kind of leans over. She's very intimidating, but I like it.
He's not so intimidating.
It's the eyes. I've never seen eyes like that. They're so enchanting.
Enchanting, not I don't think they're intimidating though. I kind of like them. I think they're pretty.
Do you want to see my talent?
Is it something that you can show me in a room full of people?
It is.
Okay, then yes.
She kind of takes the chair and just kind of chugs the rest of her drink and just kind of throws the chair into the fire behind her and just and she just kind of starts to get larger
Oh my.
and becomes a very large woman.
Nice.
And everybody like
Oof.
looks over and it's like, you hear like from the, is that really necessary, from like the other side of the hall, and she just and just kind of starts flexing a little bit.
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman.
Yeah, and she kind of looks over and she's like, now with this I can lift you with one hand. She looks
Now
over
see,
at
that is intimidating.
she looks over at Mia, the Red Wizard, and just, actually, I can, like Terra, I can pick you both up. I have two hands, and she just and flexes a little bit.
Clem is stressed out because he
I
wants to be good and listen, but he's so ready.
I love the gay energy and that we've created in this corner of the room right here. It is, I'm living for it. So
Thane Skira is best girl. I will die on this hill.
yeah.
She is excellent.
So
in our Monday game, she did that. You know, she got large with Rune Knight, and then my wizard cast enlarge on her so she could go full kaiju battle.
yeah.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
great.
She eventually kind of just and kind of shrinks back down a little bit. And there is no chair, so she just kind of hops up onto the table and like puts a leg up and just kind of makes a little spot on the table and just starts chewing on a turkey leg. I can do that one more time tonight. We'll have
If
to
you know
make it
what's good
count.
For you? Wait, no, sorry.
What were you gonna say?
I said, if you know what's good for you.
Yes.
I'm gonna stand up and slide my chair over, and then pull another chair over and say, "Here, please,
Oh,
have your chair back."
I did not think of that. Thank you. You are most resourceful.
Well, I mean, it's just right there. I didn't really do anything special. At this point, she's starting to get a little awkward
But
because she's
you
not
are
really used to
very
being
special.
intimidated.
But you are very special, Terra. Your
Well-
skin is strong like the mountains.
And you can become a giant.
I can,
It's
yes.
amazing.
It is one of many talents.
That is a very impressive talent you have there, and I look forward to learning the rest of your talents.
Of which I have many. Now we're talking about talents that I am much more confident in. And the other woman across says, "You should see the pleasure houses of Thay. They're really something, a sight to behold, really."
I've never been, but I think that sounds like it could be an interesting time.
You learn a few things here and there. Mostly, we'll call them conversation starters.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Indeed. So we will fade out down there in that conversation, and we will shift our focus as the Emperor prepares to. I don't think of the best way that he can do this. Yeah, I suppose he'll just stand up and he'll kind of tap on one of the goblets, one of the silver goblets that he has, with one of the forks of the knives. And you hear that clanging sort of ring through the hall. And after about an hour of conversing with some new friends and allies and new potential romance options, The Emperor, with a steel knife clinging on the side of a silver goblet, calls attention to the room, and it falls silent. Now that we have all had time to enjoy each other's company, the wine and the mead has flown, the dinner has been served, new allegiances, new allies, new friends, new colleagues, new siblings to fight beside. Evil within our own midst being rooted out and on the run. We now move to the next phase of our campaign. Together, we will travel to the war room and we will discuss how best to proceed. The servants here in Darkhold will tidy up the Grand Hall. Stay and fest as long as you like. Summon the servants, seen and unseen, when you depart. But now I must take my leave. To my council, I bid you to accompany me along with the Stormwatch, the War Room, where we plan our next phase. We plan our next move, and we review the tactical options before us as we prepare to march to Tilverton. Zhentilar, Zhentarim, I now conclude tonight's banquet. To the war room, and everyone almost simultaneously kind of stands up at the same time, along with the Paragost, General Avarkin, General Sorelia, Nazgris, and everyone else in the hall stands out of respect for the Emperor as he begins to gather his things, along with the Paragost, in tow with several of the Dread Praetorians, Dread Archers, and Dread Mages. And as the rest of you gather your things, say adieu to the new friends that you have met along the way, or make plans to rendezvous with each other in each other's rooms after hours, or vice versa. That is at your discretion. But over the next 20 minutes to a half an hour, you make the trek from the banquet hall up to the upper spires of the main tower of Darkhold, which is the Guldym. And in the higher reaches of the Guldym, you find yourselves committed to the war room, of which, during our next session, we will engage in your first domain action, called It Happens in the War Room, of which you will make your first official roll against the despotic regime of the Hillsfar Alliance. So go ahead in the meantime and place your tokens to wherever you would like to be seated, where we will pick up in 1 week. 2 weeks, sorry. And again, in that time, you will make your first rolls against the despotic regime of the Hillsfar Alliance. And you will also review the dossier of enemies that await you. You will plan your methods of attack. And you will also, hopefully, by the end of the session, embark upon your journey to the northeast along the Moonsea Ride, on a journey to reclaim the Moonsea, the ancestral home of the Zhentarim, to liberate the people from the human law of Hillsfar, and then to rally and march west through the deserts of Anorak to liberate the Neverwinter region and the Sword Coast from the second despotic regime, the fascist city-state of Neverwinter and its despotic ruler of Dagult Neverember. Until then, Vale Zhentalar, and please, would y'all tell the people of the internet where they can find you in the meantime between now and our next Stormwatch session, where we will pick up in the war room and make our first domain roll going in reverse order. Avalon, where can the lovely people of the interwebs find you in between today and Monday, October 5th?
Yeah, so usually, you can find me behind most 7-Elevens handing out CDs.
Nice.
No, genuinely, I mean, you have my Twitter links, set up, right, Aaron?
Yep.
So that's pretty much it. I am in shows for Faustian Nonsense a lot, both sponsored stuff and original stuff. Like I said at the beginning of the session, I am in the title escapes me. It's usually shortened to PSST, so the Twitter link I posted earlier in the session, that I can find again as well, is the show that I was in most recently that is coming out soon. Yeah, I'm here, I'm around, I do stuff.
So yeah, shout out to Tabletop RPG Music for partnering with us officially as one of our music partners. So please go send some love if you like the music you've been hearing through the session to our friends over at Tabletop RPG Music, one of our 3 official music partners between the Guild of Ambiance, who you heard at the beginning. Let me see if this goes through. Yes, between the Guild of Ambiance, Tabletop RPG Music, and of course royalty-free for all Jacob Dezot, who we linked earlier, so thank you, Jacob, for providing awesome heavy metal music for RPGs and video games and tabletop games for everyone. So carrying on, let's go to Vithagan / Jeff. Where can the people of the internet find you between tonight and October 5th? Sorry, September 5th. September 5th.
September, October, whatever.
Yes.
Dates mean nothing.
September.
Again, my name is Jeff. You can find me as Vithagan on TikTok. Some say my name is unpronounceable, so that's the easiest way to get a hold of me there. And I may very well start streaming some Kerbal Space Program here on Twitch. I'm not sure when or if, and hopefully not on top of the Heavensfire campaign, but we'll see what our schedule looks like. But if nothing else, strange explosions and interesting orbital mechanics. Come by and check us out.
That's a great pitch. I love it. All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. And Dahlia, hello. What do you have going on between now and September 5th?
Nothing. I just hang out on the Discord and chat with you fine folk.
Yeah. I gotta put... oh, there's Themis. Themis is tiny. Make her
Thank
big.
you. I was trying to figure out how to do that.
Ange, go ahead, and then we'll go to Nick.
When I'm not here, I have I can most often be found. I'm in the Discord. I'm not nearly as active as some of the others. I also, if you like anime, I'm co-host on an anime podcast called Animazing Radio, where we do a 2-hour live show Sunday nights. Check it out. And that's me in a nutshell.
Yes, check out our friends at Animazing Radio. Thank you, Ange. Okay, Nick, what do you have going on between now and September 5th?
Gonna be trying my best to relax, but other than that, I should be having another game I'm joining. I don't know if I can announce it or not, but on September 2nd, which is a Friday, I think is our first session, so that'll be a
Awesome.
thing. Other than that, yeah, just I'll be here every other week.
Great. And last but certainly not least, Isabits. What you got going on between now and September 5th? I know it's a lot.
On Sundays I am on the twitch.tv/Master of Rem Twitch channel for a D&D 5e game. It's a homebrew called Like Clockwork. It's based in the universe of Coddlesworth's Clockwork Circus graphic novel. And the creator of the graphic novel is actually our storyteller. So that's every Sunday at 7 Central. And this weekend I am going to be there as well, taking part in a few games. They're doing a 2-year streaming anniversary streamathon, so I'm going to be in a couple of games for that. I'm currently recording a Becoming Mighty and Morphin podcast where I am playing the Red Ranger.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
released on the Alternia Archives, anywhere you can find podcasts, you'll be able to find it. But that will be released beginning of next year, is when that's going to be released. And then here, every other Monday, playing Stormwatch and on the Discord.
Very cool. And also thank you again to our friends at Diesel Shot for the raid. Go and check out Diesel Shot. Go and follow, subscribe, whatever you can do to support Diesel Shot. They're awesome. Friends of the channel. I did a one-shot over there. It was so much fun. The Diesel Shot system is excellent, so go and check them out. Good friends of ours. And in the meantime, thank you everyone who came out to watch us essentially deal with a very slow in and out quick combat with an archmage who was able to skedaddle the fuck out of here with 101 different moves for some dialogue, for some intrigue, for the start of intrigue officially, for some really heavy role play, for some individual role play moments with a large room, a buffet of NPCs for you to engage with and interact with, for some individual roleplay moments. So of course, thank you to our audience for listening in to this very roleplay heavy episode, watching while we built our very unique hybrid party sheet, coming into a power level 5 organization. And doing a little tweaking to the system and giving you the 8 development points to start on this turn of Intrigue. So thank you for also dealing with this sort of adaptive Kingdoms in Warfare system that we use for Intrigue, and also watching us essentially go through and mark our first 8 points on the sheet for the first time. So we appreciate you for that as well. So you can go check out MCDM if you want to learn more about the system, Kingdoms and Warfare, maybe? No, it should be there.
Is it maybe lowercase?
Possibly.
Or not?
Maybe K and W? I know I have it. Let me check the Nightbot commands. Ha ha ha.
Professional.
Yes, it should be. It's not always. Doesn't always work. I, J, K, M? No. Well, it should be there. We'll add it for next time. Let me grab the link. I'll put it in manually. MCDM Productions. We can grab it manually. Yeah, I know, right? We run a professional stream, I promise. There we go.
You're awesome.
Here's a link. Okay. So yeah, mcdmproductions.com. Please check that out. They're awesome. Yeah, thank you, Nugget Hoarder. There's a lot to the system. Thank you for going along with us as we discuss the power die and all that stuff, and then also for more roleplay moments towards the end, and for spending some time with us while we vibe and learn the system. So thank you again to everyone for hanging out with us. You can join our Discord community, over 140 active members. Witchy stuff, tabletop stuff, lots of queer stuff, all of the above, lots of Venn diagrams, that type of thing. And you can catch us this Saturday for a charity stream that we're doing. Let's see if the donate link works. I actually have to, yep, all right, yep. So we have we're on Tiltify, and that is this Saturday And thank you, Jeff, for helping us get the administrative and business stuff out of the way during our production meeting last night. And everyone else who has helped us organize this along the way. We will be playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians on Saturday at 9 p.m. for 4 hours, trying to raise $300 for Nayral. Does Nayral actually have a link? Did I put them in there? I'll link them as well.
No, we did not do that one.
I'll add that. Oh, there's another link anyway, but the regular website. See if this has a long link, but that'll bring you to the Nayral site. So Nayral is National Abortion Rights Funds and donates to pro-choice candidates. So if you want to join the fight for reproductive rights and donate to organizations that support reproductive rights, you can join us on Saturday for our Thirsty Sword Lesbians for Nayral campaign, where we're going to be doing Monster Queers of Castle Grayskull, and we're doing a story that ties in the end of Kevin Smith's season 2 of Masters of the Universe Revelations with the teasers that were dropped by Kevin Smith for the She-Ra crossover. So yeah, join us there for that. And yeah, quality with a 6-line link that we dropped in. But
hold on, what promos are you talking about? I didn't know that they were doing that. Masters of the Universe Revelations was getting to cross over with She-Ra.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard about that.
The symbol at the end of season 2 of Masters of the Universe Revelation is the Horde symbol. The Cyclopean cult of the machine is summoning. They released a beacon, and they either received a message or released a beacon, and what pops up in their technology is the symbol of the Horde from She-Ra.
Right, but I didn't know I didn't think they could actually use She-Ra or any of her associated characters because of legal fuckery.
Oh, is it a thing? Is it a thing that was talked about?
There's a reason Prince Adam didn't show up in She-Ra and vice versa. So I don't know if we'll actually get She-Ra there or not. It doesn't matter for the Thirsty Sword Lesbians
will
game.
this Saturday.
But...
Yes. Well, talk to me more about that because I'm curious. So, but I'm hoping that means a crossover, unless there's something very specific that I don't know about. But you can talk to me on the Discord about that. In any case, we will let y'all go and do your own things and enjoy the rest of your Monday night. And wow, we're right on time, so right at 1. So thank you everybody, and thank you to the wonderful cast for hanging out with us. And yes, you can catch a crossover for She-Ra X Masters of the Universe on our channel on Saturday. We're going to be doing it there. So we'll see you then. Until next time, be gay,
Nice.
do crime, and we'll see you back here for Stormwatch on September 5th, and this Saturday for Thirsty Sword Lesbians in Etheria. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Have a good night.
Good
Bye.
night. See you next time.